Hello and welcome to the LiveScore watch along. We're here for a massive night of European football as the champions of England and Portugal clash in Manchester, and PSG travel to Real Madrid, to the Bernabeu, to try and defend a 1-0 lead. I'm delighted to say that we are joined by Mr. Stephen McInerney and Mr. Sam Tighe. Stephen, you're a City fan.
I am.
Looking at this, 5-0 up after the away leg of a Champions League knockout tie, is this as comfortable as football watching gets at this stage of an elite competition?
Yeah, I mean, it should be. We also Barca do it, a few years back, but I was at City Stoke that night. That was terrible.
That was only from 4 as well.
Yeah. But no, honestly, it should be an absolute cakewalk for Man City tonight. It should, in theory. But then again, you kind of, I guess, for the neutral, they're hoping maybe a couple of early sporting goals will keep it exciting. But this is very much energy preservation mode for City, given the title race. They're obviously huge result of the weekend against United. FA Cup coming up. No, it's Everton before that, isn't it? I've forgotten who we played at the weekend. I'm very tired. I'm jet lagged, by the way, everyone. So if I waffle a bit, yeah. But in general, this game, we played the team I expected. A few changes here and there, a few senior players, just enough to essentially go through the motions. I don't think even Sporting's most optimistic of fans are expecting it either, really. They've just got to turn up and hope for the best. But this is, it should be easy tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sam, I know how excited we've been about this game between PSG and Real Madrid. 1-0, perfectly poised, I think, is the way I would describe it. And, there's so many players of the world's best on show here tonight. Does it get much better than this at this stage?
Not really, no. Stephen talks about the neutrals hoping for a couple of early goals in the Sporting game. The neutrals are not watching.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
They're watching my game. They're watching Real Madrid play PSG.
Even I reckon to
this
extent.
Is going to be unbelievable. I mean, the first leg was so much fun. PSG actually managed to put together a coherent tactical plan for possibly the first time this entire season. It was a huge surprise. It led to total dominance. It led to a 93rd minute winner eventually from Mbappé, and now they get to go to the Bernabeu. And they get to defend it, and they get to show us, or try to show us, that they've got the mettle and they've got the mentality to succeed and survive in these extremely high-pressure scenarios. The scenario in which they have built an all-star cast for, but have so far failed to achieve what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into some team news then, and I think we should probably start in Manchester. Let's take a look at these two teams. I mean, Stephen, the big question is, was this exactly what you were expecting, or is it actually a bit stronger than you were thinking?
It was a little bit stronger than I was expecting. Pep, in this instance, he's never going to go fully with the academy players because Pep's a cautious man, and the very best managers, they take less risks than most, I would say, usually. They're risk takers, but at the same time, they know how to get the job done. And this team, it's kind of sort of what I expected. There'd be the odd academy player here and there. Egan Riley is at right back, and this bench full of young academy players. I'm a little bit surprised personally he's gone for both are fit and available centre backs in Laporte and John Stones, because Ake and Diaz are both out of injury, so we're playing with fire a little bit there. Any injuries, and all of a sudden we're staring down the barrel of the academy as a centre back. But then at the midfield, Bernardo seems to have some clause to play every single game this season for some reason. I was not expecting that personally. I mean, probably maybe one or two more changes would have been a little bit more reasonable in the eyes of many Manchester City fans. But Guardiola is all about rhythm and momentum. He doesn't like players to ever feel like the job is done until it actually is. And I understand that to an extent. I wouldn't be surprised if he's looking for a couple more goals, just to have that, a safety net of 7-0 or something like that, which seems crazy, but that's how Pep's head works.
No, absolutely. And it gets to half time maybe. I mean, the name perhaps that people are jumping out there and who aren't regular City fans is CJ Egan Riley at right back. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very solid defender, basically. He's normally a centre-back. He's played a lot of right-back simply because you've got a lot of very good young centre-backs as well. And he played there early on in the season. Who was it against? I can't remember, in the Carabao Cup. Sorry.
Of the cup games,
it was, and he played in, basically an all-academy back four that day with Wilson Esbrand, Finley Burns, and who was it? Mbappé as well. And he did well, actually. He got forward. I think he even got an assist, actually. But he's a solid, if not necessarily exciting right back, but he's good on the ball as you'd expect he would be as a Manchester City player. He's very competent, professional, and he's captained some of the youth sides before as well. So you're going to get a reliable performance from him, and that's all you probably need really in this stage.
Fair enough. Well, let's get some predictions in, shall we? And you may as well start us off, Stephen. So what do you reckon?
I think we've both gone for very similar actually, but I went for 2-0 Man City on the night and 1-1. with PSG, Real Madrid.
We'll come to that, mate. We're just on this game for now.
And then we pretend I didn't say that, I'm sorry. 1-0 in the second half.
What do you think?
I also went for 2-0 to Manchester City. I think 2 in the first half, and then just bring on all the kids.
Look, I actually went for 4-0.
Did you?
Yeah, because I actually think that you're right. 2-0 in the first half, bring on all the kids who have a point to prove and will absolutely drive at this and will want to make a mark on it in the Champions League. So I'm going to go for 4-0.
A 9-0 aggregate victory.
These predictions. Yeah, 9-0 on aggregate. Wouldn't be Sporting's worst loss in this competition in the knockout round. So we have that. Sam, just a quick word on Sporting. It's a very attacking formation. They've really gone for this. It feels like Ugarte is the only kind of defensively minded midfield in there. 2 up top. We haven't seen too much of this from 𝗟𝗏 𝗪𝗁, but this is. I suppose he has to go for it.
Well, he does and he doesn't. I mean, this could get really, it's over, right? And it could get really bad. I appreciate the competitive instinct is one that will drive you to go and try and win at the Etihad, and you want to go and at least score a goal in the tie. But I'm not sure exactly who is going to play at centre mid and next to Ugarte, but it's not going to be a defined midfielder. It's going to be someone who belongs more like on the wing or in the 10 spot. So yeah, he's certainly playing with 5 attackers, 1 dude in the middle, and then 5 defenders, and we'll see how it goes.
We will see how it goes. Right, well, Sporting fans might not have been too pleased with that first leg result, but they are back in the knockout stages of this competition for the first time in nearly 2 decades. So it's not all doom and gloom. Our man James Lorenzo went to meet a few of them who are part of a family-run supporters club in London.
Sporting Lisbon may be facing elimination at the hands of Manchester City, but that hasn't dulled the spirits of those at Sporting Londres, the supporters club in the capital.
Now, the Portuguese expat community in London numbers about 50,000, and most are based in South London. Stockwell is probably the most popular area, but we've come to West London to visit Sporting Club Londres, because if you're a Sporting Lisbon fan, this is your hub.
The restaurant cum bar is managed by Roy and Paula, a husband and wife team that has provided a home for the Portuguese community in London for almost 3 decades.
Sporting started in a private house as one of the founders. We've been here since 1994.
They're all Sporting fans, and in many countries they open up a premises, they found it. To have a Portuguese, like a members club. Everywhere in the countries they have their own place to be Portuguese, so people can join together. And from there it just started picking up. Things changed completely. So this is the kitchen. This is going to be squid stew today, which is preparing. The octopus is popular as well. On Sundays we do cozido à portuguesa, which is a very popular dish in Portugal, which is all boiled meats, boiled vegetables, and it goes very well. Nice. Kitchen's a bit small, but we get there.
It's built out of a converted garage, and while it may be small, it's brimming with heart and brings a distinctly Portuguese flavour to what is a multicultural part of London, whether or not you support their club.
We welcome everyone, not just Sporting fans. We get Porto, Benfica, we get all kinds of fans, we get all people from the local area, English, Moroccans, Indians, we get people from all over.
And there's proof of that on the club's social media profiles. Big matches draw big crowds, and that means a lot of work for Paula and her team.
So it's quite a family.
Oh, a family place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all get on. We work like as a team. Which if you don't, forget it.
A bit like Sporting, right?
Yeah.
So whatever the result against City, you can be sure that this place will be buzzing.
Well, it looks absolutely incredible in there. I was going to say the atmosphere might well have been lit tonight, but I actually imagine that quite a lot of them will have travelled to said game and will be in Manchester experiencing what looks like an amazing light show before this all kicks off. Let's go to Madrid though, and let's take a look at the other game. And Sam, some really interesting things in these lineups for both sides. Let's start with PSG and the big changes. Neymar back in the side after coming off the bench in the first leg, recovering from injury. He's in for Di Maria.
Yeah, that's the only change for PSG. I mean, I half expected no changes at all, considering how good they were against Real Madrid. And in the 2 follow-up away games that they've played since that time, they've lost them both. So making changes hasn't necessarily served them particularly well. But Neymar in to complete that ridiculous front 3. And yeah, PSG just go with the one change.
Yeah, I mean, go over to Real Madrid, obviously, and Nacho at left back screams slightly concerning.
Yeah.
Especially if he is up against Neymar.
So, like, we think it's going to be Nacho at left back. 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲 is obviously a left-footed player and has played plenty of football at left back, but he hasn't really played there at club level for a long time now. He is fully fledged centre half. He and Militao were excellent in the first leg. Actually, just 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲, Militao and Courtois were the only 3 Real Madrid players who can really hold their heads up after that first game. So Nacho probably on the left. 𝗟𝗏, I hope they've managed to get the Men in Black pencil out to wipe his memory from the first leg, because if he remembers any of that, then he's going to have another tough night. Valverde in at centre mid, in place of Casemiro, who's suspended.
That's big shoes to fill, right? Casemiro is such a wonderful player, and it's been so key for everything. In fact, I half expected Madrid to kind of try and bolster the midfield in his absence, and maybe kind of not go 4 in there, but maybe diamond it and just tighten it up a little bit, because he is that bigger presence.
Well, since they don't really have like a nailed-on right winger either, it wouldn't have been too difficult to basically drop Asensio and Rodrigo and go, neither of you guys are playing, we're going to go with a diamond and play with Vinicius and Benzema up front. But they've gone for Valverde, they've not gone for Camavinga, who played really well against Real Sociedad at the weekend and scored an absolute thunderbolt. He's stepped in for Casemiro, I think, more often than Valverde this season in the holding role. But he's gone for Valverde on the big stage.
Okay, well, let's get some predictions then, shall we? Start us off, Sam.
Go for 1-1. Go for 1-1. Goals for each side, but PSG, yes, it's the same. But the goal from the first leg holds them over. Okay,
we do have a clue as to where you're going here, Stephen. And
possibly 1-1 as well.
Well, does that mean you've gone the same on
Yes, we have actually.
Yeah.
Genuinely a coincidence. I think this game's going to be fantastic, by the way. I really do. I know we've only gone for 1-1, but I can see this being relatively end-to-end, and a couple of wonderful goals will end up being that score cost. But I think they're going to have to go for Madrid, aren't they, from the Bernabeu?
We didn't confer on the predictions, by the way.
I didn't confer about the fact that I've just doubled your score again. I'm going for 2-2.
Okay.
So this is what I've happened.
You've added our scores, haven't you?
I've added your scores both times
to
really make it up. I do think same thing. I think that I think PSG will look at this and go, this is a huge opportunity. Just keep peg back, but it will eventually mean it could be
huge for them. Getting past Real Madrid.
Well, they've got through this round quite a lot in the last couple of years, so they're kind of expected to, no matter who the opponents are.
Both of these 2 teams are expected to get through this round.
But there would be a sense here, I think, that PSG, this would be a big
mentally, it helps City. When we beat Real Madrid, there was a relief after that, and obviously then we got past PSG last year as well. But that Real Madrid game, especially going to the Bernabeu and winning, that felt huge for us as City fans. And obviously Madrid are the kings of Europe, rightfully so.
They have a big old tifo.
Exactly, exactly. And they've earned it, to be fair to them, quite literally. And I think the boost, the belief that will come from this for PSG in particular, if they win today, is huge. It can be transformative.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget that you can get involved using the hashtag LiveScore WatchAlong. Chuck us your questions, your thoughts across the course of these games, and we'll do our best to answer them, to discuss them, to get involved with this discussion. We're starting to see the pendants being exchanged, the anthem being blared out. I imagine, Sam, that there's plenty of nerves in this game. Stephen probably less so, as we kind of conferred
I just got my feet
in
on,
this
mate.
game. But ultimately, there's 2 incredible games for 4 wonderful teams here. 2 champions playing each other here, 2 former champions of their national countries playing each other over here. It's all very, very exciting. So, yeah, a lot to like here. A lot to like. What I actually didn't mention earlier on was that Pedro Porro is coming home.
He is indeed.
We thought he might play in the first leg, he didn't, and then but this is a massive opportunity for him to show what City are missing.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument that City probably need a right back actually. I mean, tonight 𝗟𝗏𝘃𝗲𝗏's playing because Kyle Walker obviously is suspended, unfortunately, for being a fool, getting himself sent off. But Cancelo these days is pretty much seen as a left back, and it was Zinchenko and Cancelo, who both have a very different take on the left back role. Because it's just like maybe we need an actual right back now, you know, and that would be what's so funny about that. Like,
No, it's not.
I was like,
Very different takes on the left back.
well,
role.
they do. Well, they do.
I love the way you put it.
But it's so good. I think it's quite fascinating though that they're obviously we haven't got a traditional left back. You know, one's more of an inverted false 8. One kind of jumps into midfield and sits alongside Rodri, and whichever. I mean, they both can be both things at the same time, weirdly.
Yeah.
But I want an actual right back who can get forward and attack, who will actually play there in the absence of Kyle Walker, because Cancelo's always, you know, over there, and we've been playing John Stones. So for Pedro Porro, a guy who's literally broken to the Spanish national team, this is a huge chance to show his basically parent club that he could be the solution. And for what I can tell, he's meant to be fantastic as well, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, a false start in the City games. Very exciting, isn't it? That's a rarity.
It's very Guardiola. You know, false 9s, false 8s, false starts, and there we go.
Yeah, false inverted 8s and false whistles is what's going on. Yeah,
Foden's in the middle as well by the looks of it.
Well, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to just see how City pan out here, I think, and how intense this goes, considering you know that this is all but done, and there's no disrespect, I don't think, in saying that this game is all but finished. No one has ever overturned you know, a leg like this. Yes, we talked about Barcelona. That was only 4, and that was also one of the most ridiculous things that's ever happened in the history of the competition.
Sporting, they're not Barcelona, are they?
They're not, and they're definitely not that Barcelona either.
Exactly,
So, you know, it's just interesting to see how much City go for this in the first sort of 20-25 minutes, where, you know, how many brilliant starts have we had. Real Madrid have gone for it.
Go for it, yeah.
They haven't even got the graphics on the screen yet, and Vinicius is in the box. Oh, jeez.
What's the record for earliest goal in the Champions League? Does anyone know that?
No, I do not.
I presume one of you two would know that.
Was it?
I
The fastest goal ever in the
Champions League,
it would have been if he'd scored there, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Or 6 seconds.
But we've got kick off at the Bernabeu anyway.
Also, you can talk about, we were talking about intensity of City's start. Real Madrid are flying.
We've got a game on our hands here, haven't we? What's he doing?
Oh no, Real Madrid just broken down the right side. Carvajal gets forward and manages to sling the ball back across low, and Asensio decides to backheel it to no one.
No one.
Yeah. It was an interesting one. Obviously, he came on and scored at the weekend. It's what he does, Asensio. But there was a lot of questions over whether he's the right person to start in this game.
Carvajal has just done this to the stands.
But he wants.
It's like 48 seconds in.
I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit because what we saw at the weekend was Real Madrid go 1-0 down to Real Sociedad.
Oh, jeez.
It's a little bit sore.
Yeah, 𝗟𝗏 has taken one
to the head.
1 or 2 actually. He's collided with his own teammate in mid-air and then sort of fallen awkwardly on one leg, and he's everyone gets a breather. That was a very intense 1 minute 15.
It was. I think we're going to see some early goals here, you know.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. I'd agree. It's but the Bernabeu will be absolutely raucous here, right? And there is a thing about Real Madrid, and we saw it a little bit at the weekend. They went 1-0 down to Real Sociedad after 10 minutes or so. Mikel Oyarzabal scored a penalty. Turned out to be Real Sociedad's only shot on goal in the entire game. But you could just feel it. As soon as they went behind, there was this sense, I think, that the crowd lifted immediately. It was like, hang on, we're not losing this. Like, we're at home, we're Real Madrid. We really do need, to see off this league title. The crowd really, they kind of got behind them. And I was listening to the Spanish football podcast with Sid Lowe the other day, and he was talking about this and the fact that there is such a history of Real Madrid coming back from massive comebacks in European history. It's happened
why they
for years.
They are really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a massive part of why they have won so many European trophies. But talking to previous players and saying, if we could harness that all the time, it would be amazing. But it only seems to happen when Real Madrid are behind. But you saw the banners, you saw the tifos. You can almost see the intensity of the crowd in the way that the game has started.
Yeah.
And it is that kind of strange thought that when it's the chips are down,
There's
Real Madrid
also,
are like, no, not enough.
There's no away goal as well, which is obviously a huge factor. So that essentially Madrid are playing without fear. I mean, obviously going 2-0 down would be horrific, but it's not the end of the game, which it possibly could have been. Looking at this time of last year. So that I think it's wonderful for the balance of the tie, basically. Because it would be interesting to see how this played out without the rule change. I think it'd be a lot more cautious, maybe until like the 50th, 60th minute when Madrid would have been like.
But would Real Madrid have gone for it a little bit more in the first leg as well? So there's maybe, that kind of. Ooh.
I mean, there's some tackles flying in here.
There is,
guys.
isn't there? It's
There was a tackle flying in
Very
there from
English game so far, you know. Physical.
Leo Messi just chucked a tackle in on the
Did, yeah.
halfway line.
Just
you know,
ran 10 yards back to
mad.
try and slide tackle someone from behind.
That's his first time he's ever done that.
I
in his
think so,
career,
yeah. Oh. We've seen 3 balls in behind already.
And
The
the
ball's only been in play for about 1 minute and 20.
Yeah.
Mbappé in behind twice, or trying to there. That was a failure. Also overhit one where he actually reached out and tried to grab the ball for some reason. And Vinicius Junior in like the 3rd second. Yeah, the play is very compact. Two very high lines. Everyone is really close together. Everyone is crunching through tackles.
And they're flying.
Vinicius
in.
is
So also, look, Real
Always
Madrid,
done well,
Real Madrid will know that their home record is absolutely unbelievable,
That's a beautiful
right?
ball.
And they'll bank on that, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they've lost once in the last 17 home games in all comps this season. You know, they'll be banking here that yes, obviously PSG are an excellent side and one of the better sides they've played this year, but they have been good and comfortable at home across the course of the season, and that's got to give you that hope and that kind of seeing that you go into this and think, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Oh God. So Vinicius has just escaped down the left and lifted the ball in, and Asensio sort of like wheeled back and tried to volley it across his own body, and it's sort of harmlessly hit the centre back. But
the only thing is, the more shots Marco Asensio gets off, I know this sounds incredibly sensible, but the more shots he gets off, the higher the chance that he's going to absolutely whack one in from 35 yards. Because he does that, he spends a long time finding his range, but when he does find it, he is incredibly good.
That's why you started, give him more time to find the range. Yeah. Off the bench, you can only manage 4 or 5 shots max.
Vinicius just won a free kick off Danilo Pereira, which didn't look like a free kick to me.
After just a minute ago, where Mbappé was arm-barred to the floor by Carvajal, nothing.
I don't see why it's any different. Also, PSG though already having a bit of afters with the ref. There's a little bit of
and that is a foul.
It's a foul, isn't it?
It is a foul, but so was the one on Mbappé.
Yeah,
so
it's
kind of a bit 6-1.
You whatabouting the game there?
Yeah, I'm whatabouting the game. That's also a foul.
Yeah, it is. It was a foul, clearly.
So it's a weird one because Danilo was so good there in the first leg, Sam, at kind of covering with the 2 fullbacks steaming forward. But if he's giving away fouls early doors, and especially if he gets booked, if
there's one player PSG absolutely cannot afford to have booked here.
Yeah,
it's Danilo Pereira.
A rare lack of awareness of him there. Actually, he's normally 2 steps ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, they can't afford to get Danilo booked. Like, he drops into all these different spaces that PSG's attacking players leave, and he was so good in the first leg. Like, he sort of plays like right centre mid, but then half of it he was like right mid, and then he was like in right centre back as it kind of switched to a 3. His positional aptitude is really, really strong, and his ability to just drop into all these different places. And he's quite quick as well, man. Like, for a big guy, like he's got a turn of pace, and he's got a good top end speed. It means he can run all the way back and play in that high line.
He can chase.
He really can, yeah. And he's just done it, and just obviously kind of pushed Vinicius to the floor. But yeah, tactically he was so important in that first game.
Well, he's going to be crucial as well, because there is this sense that
Asensio's just had his second shot.
Yeah, but look, PSG's away record has been really poor, and we haven't seen the fact that Danilo missing the last couple of games and only really finding his space in this spot is massive, because they've often played with 2 kind of more attacking midfielders into that thing. Someone alongside Paredes who is an Ander Herrera or someone who is more likely to go forward, more willing to drive into space. And Danilo came in and then has made that kind of it feel a little bit stickier in there, if you will. And the fact that they are winless in their last 4 away games in the Champions League suggests that they really did need that. A little bit of a little bit.
He's having a bit of joy, isn't he?
I mean, Vinicius is having a wicked. He's having a wicked time.
Yes, isn't he?
Just dribbled past 3 players. And Messi's just tackled Benzema on the end of his own box, and now he's off.
Oh, what?
And now PSG are off. Play that through. Mbappé. I mean, Militao has caught him up and just delayed him. Mbappé across the ball. Okay.
That started from a Messi challenge in his own area. Who would have thought that?
The world is upside down, people.
I think City might have a penalty here.
Do you think?
I don't know. I think he's going to...
He might have been looking for it a wee bit, but I don't think there was any attempt to play the ball.
I don't think you get many penalties when you 5-0 up, to be fair.
No, that is true. And you know what? Actually, fair play.
Yeah, it seems fair. But I did see a replay. I was too busy looking at the chance.
I think that's going to be
a thing. My game. Back off.
But that's going to be a thing, isn't it? Look, you're going to see how much the PSG want to play on the counter tonight, because why wouldn't you if you have the players?
You've got the 1-goal lead. You're away from home. You've got Mbappé. This is exactly how they want to play.
Two of the best counter-attacking
it will require, that's a yellow card for Paredes there. It will require a certain amount of, again, the sort of fortitude.
It's calm heads as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like what I was going to say a minute ago when we saw the
penalty claim. It's relatively soft. There's a slight nudge in Jesus' back. Nah, I don't think there's enough in that personally. That's coming from a big
from a City fan.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. He's close to him, but he's looking for it.
But PSG losing their heads with the ref after one decision in the 8th minute is not really ideal.
That's what they did against us as well.
Yeah,
Classic.
yeah.
So they do have a temperament problem in games like this.
Well, this is, we've talked about this before, but this is why they made the signings they did in the summer. This is why players like I know neither of them are playing, but a Gini Wijnaldum, a Sergio Ramos were brought into the squad to try and
even a Messi as well. Like that experience
give them a bit
leadership.
Give them a bit of cool, a bit of steel in those moments where passion has taken over and. I don't think there's anything wrong with emotion in football, right? Like, I think it's an amazing thing. But you see them at the end of games, and people are, are crying and excited, and the way that celebrations are either all or nothing, without going to Amazon Prime on everything. It does feel a little bit like you're like, whoa, guys! Like the highs and the lows need to be a little bit less high and low here when you're talking about you're only in the knockouts of a competition.
Yeah,
it's
very much
the
get the
last
job
game,
done kind of territory, isn't it? And
yeah. It does feel like...
You can't blink first, really, in these games.
No.
So the surprising thing from my game so far is that Valverde is not playing as the deepest midfielder. Kroos is.
Yeah, I mean...
Toni Kroos has played as the 6 for the first 10 minutes, and Valverde has played as as the right-sided central midfielder, and he has been so aggressive. And he's been moving around like crazy.
Are they trying to shackle Verratti?
I think they're trying to be more... chaotic's not the right word, but let me just watch Vinicius get on it. But I think they're trying to be more tenacious in the middle and aggressive.
That's not good.
And I think like with someone like Valverde, who has so much energy and aggression, you can just kind of unleash him when he's playing as one of the sort of slightly further forward midfielders. And it definitely helps pin PSG back, but it definitely helps assert kind of like a dominant tone, which I guess is what they're going for. It might suggest also that they don't trust any of their Casemiro stand-ins defensively, so Kroos has to sit back there and do it.
That's fine.
I mean,
Kroos is the most defensive midfielder in the world. But
Kroos plays in this position for Germany.
He's playing as a quarterback.
Yeah, he plays in this position.
But that's interesting. But let's look at the match momentum, because it's all Real Madrid. It's all Real Madrid. Yeah, and I mean, it has been all Real Madrid, which is fair enough. But
yes, this entire game has been played in basically PSG's third.
Is that what you'd expect, right? That's you kind of expect the whole thing.
I guess that's how it has to be as well, to be honest.
Well, also with the crowd, with the if you're that home crowd at the Bernabeu, you expect them to. No one can keep this up for 90 minutes. It's ridiculous, but you do expect them to start well, and then if it doesn't work, then drop off and come again in waves. But that first wave should be intense, because even if you do concede early, like you said, the game isn't over.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Whereas if you don't start well and it changes.
Carvajal's just fizzed one about 8 yards wide.
Interesting in this game, Foden's playing as the false nine, so Jesus stayed on the right. Oh, here we go, it's a chance. But yeah, Foden's carrying on being the false nine, which I suspected with Jesus in the team that he wouldn't be. Sitting on the left as well. Gundogan's kind of getting forward alongside Foden.
Pep likes Gabriel Jesus in that right hand.
He does, yeah.
And he plays there for Brazil, doesn't he? Because Roberto
he
Firmino
often does, I suspect he hasn't got much in future at Manchester City, fortunately for him. I think he probably knows that himself, because he's kind of the guy who comes on in games like this when we don't really need him, essentially, which is he's behind Mahrez, Sterling, Grealish, Foden, and Julian Alvarez is coming in the summer as well. And Pep was talking about him today, saying he's got the smell of goal. He said in his broken English, which is the one thing Jesus, who was the striker for us, doesn't have.
Balls just starts to Mbappé. Again, Courtois with his legs. Another save on Mbappé. That's 2
They
now.
are living dangerously, aren't they?
Momentum chart, all Real Madrid, and that's because it's all being played in their quarters, and they've got all the touches of the ball. But
the 2 big chances.
PSG have had the clearest sight of goal twice, and Courtois already made 2 saves, low down, one with his legs, one with his arms on Mbappé, who sort of scuttled through. I mean, that's the game they're going to have to play for the next 78 minutes.
It's a risky game.
It is what it is. Like,
counter-attacking against
PSG are unbelievably fast and incisive, and they have the goal. They have the advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it can be interesting to see how it develops.
Wow, he's just Laporte's just got walloped in the face.
Dear. Oh dear.
I don't think he meant to, but equally.
I don't think you can do that though, unfortunately.
Oh no, it's definitely
yeah, definitely yellow card. Yeah.
I'm not suggesting it.
Laporte's gathered it over him, which is interesting, and he's what was he doing? Paulinho just
out.
ran forward with his hand.
Yeah.
Who runs like that? Like it's a very strange action, but you know, got yourself a yellow card, probably deserved.
It is.
Paulinho. Does he get booked a lot? I feel like he does.
He does get a lot of bookings.
He looks like someone who gets booked a lot, and that's basically just how I've seen him for the past 15 minutes anyway.
If 𝗟𝗏 gets booked here, he's in trouble too because he's got Mbappé running at him for another 75 minutes. That's not ideal. It's not.
That's putting it politely, isn't it?
It's a sore one. I mean, it's relatively innocent, isn't it? They're both going for the ball.
Ooh, that's. I don't think I'd book him for that. Oh, it's a big chance.
It is a big chance.
Courtois is very good in situations
not that-
like that. He's very good full stop, but he's very good in situations
Yeah.
like that because he
He
doesn't
is.
often let anyone get across him.
Mbappé, I mean, that's on his left. You feel like that's a more comfortable shot on his right, of course. The contact
Also,
on
he
that
probably had the
isn't
time.
great.
He probably had the time to tuck inside.
He probably did, yeah. Although, the man covering that channel, 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏, he's sneaky fast, man. He covers up that ground. And in the first one we went through, 𝗟𝗏𝗃 suddenly was just there with him. I don't think he expects a player to catch up with him so easily.
Momentum. PSG.
PSG got their first corner of the game.
If you are following along, you can see the match momentum shift on the LiveScore app and the way that the game is being played out on there. It's a tracker widget, which is very exciting. I quite like watching it. Everyone else is watching the games and I'm in the middle just watching the tracker widget down the middle.
That's so meta, isn't it?
That's
a watch along
that's how
watching
you know.
a little widget on
Yeah,
a watch along.
everyone else is like, what's happened, Jack? I'm
That's
like, no,
2022.
I was just watching the tracker widget, I'm afraid. So, I just know PSG had a dangerous attack. That's the things we've learned tonight. Yeah, absolutely.
No idea if you'd watched the game. Like,
No, but I did know what happened. Just through the tracker widget. Hakimi's starting to get forward a bit more here, Sam.
He can get forward because PSG have managed to get out of their own half for more than sort of 10 seconds or so. Everything up until this point has just been direct strikes in behind for Mbappé. Now they've just started to ping it around a bit and get a bit of the ball. So the momentum has just sort of dropped off a little bit from Real Madrid's perspective. And it means that Hakimi can start getting up the right-hand side. I mean,
it's like you say, though, 15-minute chunks, right? You can't keep that intensity up for long periods.
And PSG won't do like more than sort of 15, 20 minutes without, having a chunk of the ball. Like, it's just not possible with this cast of players.
Yeah.
Not when Verratti's in the midfield. PSG are doing that thing again where they don't really play a right winger.
Yeah, I was going to say this, but is that just so they can free up Hakimi
They just
to
wanna-
steamroll down that right?
So no right winger means Hakimi is the right flank, and then Danilo Pereira has to drop in and cover the spaces. Great. That means you can get Messi and Neymar closer together in the middle, and Mbappé can isolate a player on the flank so he can cut in off the left and probably go 1v1 with 𝗟𝗏𝗃. Madrid have done really well so far to make sure that Mbappe's not 1v1 with 𝗟𝗏𝗃 the whole time, because last time that happened it was terrible. But PSG are basically trying to do the same thing as the first leg. And to be fair, it was brilliant in the first leg, so I don't blame them.
No.
Is he okay?
He didn't look okay, did he?
Nuno
But
Mendes has been
continued.
flawed.
PSG continue to play. So.
Wonderful.
Oh, it could be another Portuguese fullback out for their.
Oh my goodness me.
There's just Portuguese fullbacks out on Portuguese fullbacks out for
They've got the World Cup.
their World
They've got
Cup
World Cup
qualifier against
playoff.
Turkey.
They've got no players.
Cancelo suspended.
Yeah.
Ruben Semedo's Nelson Semedo. Ruben Semedo doesn't play anymore. Nelson Semedo is injured.
Yeah, and Rafa
Rafa Guerreira's got COVID. So at the moment they've only got 4 top quality fullbacks that can play in this one. But if Nuno Mendes gets thing, then it gets down to 3. So that'll be concerning for them, I imagine.
So what happened? He just kind of got pushed over.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I would hazard a guess that he might be all right.
Probably. It didn't look like anything at all. So you never really know. But they're treating it magic spray.
Talking of Portuguese, how are we getting on?
To be honest, it's been what you'd expect. City dominating in basically the possession, final third, City pressing. Sporting, you can't really get the ball at the pitch. They can't really transition, to be honest. It's they play 2 or 3 passes and just lose the ball to Gundogan and Fernandinho. City are probing. Foden's trying to find Sterling a lot on the inside left. Couple of decent crosses, but no real chances yet. It looks like a game where both teams are kind of going through the motions. I'm not really expecting much from Sporting here, to be honest. I think they probably realised that already as well by the looks of it. They've just launched it long, straight back to
I
right.
thought they might go long a bit, because if your front two are Slimani and Paulinho, you kind of have to go long a bit, because Well, you know, it's...
well, they do go long, don't they? They do kind of play a bit longer, a bit more direct.
But if you're not getting any joy that way, you start to need to find some sort of space. And look, City's win record in the Champions League at home is, well, pretty faultless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it is faultless.
It is literally faultless.
It's 100%. Which means that, you know, you're going to have to put up something special. Now, we saw Liverpool lose last night, but still go through. So there is that kind of idea of playing for pride. But Inter are a better side than Sporting across the board.
I mean, for me, I think even just general football, it'd be interesting to see a few goals to City. Some simply so that the academy lads can get on. You know, there's some very good young English players in particular on the bench, like Liam Delap, Rory's son, and Mbappé. Really
actually, well, thank you find he's Irish. Thank you.
Well, yes. Unfortunately,
like his father.
Unfortunately, he's abandoned, you know, his Irish roots.
I'm a bit upset about this.
Yeah, well, it's one of many. Blame Jack Grealish, maybe.
I blame Jack Grealish for many things, but yeah.
And McAtee would be wonderful as well. That sounds like an Irish surname as well, let's be honest, McAtee. But either way, yeah, I'd love to see them get on, just because it's nice to see young sides in the Champions League, isn't it? Yeah,
I think it's also an incredible learning experience, and also, you know, when you get to the Champions League, you get those moments where you're dropped in at the deep end, and some people sink and some people swim. That's fine, but if you get the opportunity to do so without having to drop people in at the deep end, why not? You know,
exactly.
It'll be like, okay, in 5 years' time, or not even in 3 years' time, if players are ready and you're thinking, wow, and they go, I've already played in the Champions League. This isn't a big deal.
The guy on the board, then Phil Foden, his was against Feyenoord in 2017. You know, as a 17-year-old, and he was on the bench as a 16-year-old against Celtic. So he knows a thing or two about those.
That was a great. Was it the great game between City and Celtic?
It was one. No, I was at that. That was
twice.
insanely
That was
good.
A great
he was
game.
at the home game. He was on the bench, but Sporting are in here.
Go on, Sporting.
Good defending.
Go on.
Behave.
I think quietly even you wouldn't mind if Sporting scored a goal.
Who do you support, Sam?
Doesn't matter.
I'm curious.
Doesn't matter.
I
won't support. Don't worry. I won't support
Granada.
I won't support.
Granada, does he really?
I won't support.
Does he actually?
I won't support Sporting. It's fine.
Sam was in a Porto shirt 3 days ago, so.
Oh really?
So I don't think he'd be.
This
supporting
man's
Sporting
torn,
for the
isn't
sake
he?
of it, yeah.
This man's ill.
Just got a real thing for Portuguese football.
Sam,
anything new?
Yeah, so PSG
PSG
have continued to get their foot on the ball, so to speak. They've sort of bottled up Real Madrid's momentum quite well over the last 5 minutes. They've had much more of it. Messi dropping in and dictating a bit. He and Verratti.
Has Mbappé started to move about a bit more? Let's put up his touch map actually while we're at it. Because he seems to be floating about, you know, in the first half, especially of the first leg, he very much was playing in
Hold that thought. Oh, another shot, my goodness me. So they've been doing quite a lot of this. Good little combos just outside the D. Because Messi and Neymar and Verratti are all pushing into that same space and playing as a three and just kind of passing it around Real Madrid's poor beleaguered midfielders trying to chase and block off the passing lanes. They can't do it. These three are way too good. And they've picked out a few different shooting opportunities.
Big chance.
But they're all from like 20 yards and all from bad angles. So at the very least, Real Madrid are giving up the shooting chances. But the XG on these shots isn't going to be particularly high. They're from bad angles or from 20 to 22 yards.
Okay. Right, let's go. Stephen,
a beautiful weighted ball from Fernandinho to Jesus, who's done really well to get across. And to be honest, Sterling should get his foot on it. I don't know how
it's
he
a
has
good tackle actually from Luciano.
I think it might be, yeah. That tapping the back post written all over it, but good defending to be fair. And Fernandinho's still great at that. That
little dink.
Yeah, get
on the pitching wedge.
He's just wonderful at it. And that doesn't really go, that ability, does it, regardless of how old you are. And Rodri's learning that too, to be fair.
Yeah,
you can actually see him
starting to pick that up.
It's funny how you see him like adapt the game so much.
Ooh.
Jesus is having a decent game, to be fair to him, actually.
I was going to say, because you said there about Jesus, and I actually agree with you.
It's not that he's a bad player. It's just you can tell he's pecking order, and I feel like for his sake as well.
I don't think anyone would say he was a bad player. I was just kind of interested to see if there's any way you think he'd really thrive. Premier League or abroad.
Do you know what I'd like to see him in the Simeone side? I just feel like his work rate, his versatility across the front three. I feel like Simeone would love him, absolutely love him, because obviously, he'd be a better fit than Joao Felix, put it this way.
Yeah, Joao Felix is having a little bit of a spell of form.
He has these. He does have these, though, doesn't he?
Well, he is incredibly
because
he's incredibly good.
Because he's so good at football. Every now and then he accidentally plays well.
Yeah. Even in systems designed to limit him, he's playing really well.
His agent should have pushed for City, shouldn't he? If it was allegedly a thing on the table. But for me, you can see Jesus. He's been linked to the Serie A sides constantly, and Inter were the latest linked to him. Juve are constantly linked to Jesus. It might just be the press saying that, but you can see why.
Yeah, I think he'd do really well in Italy.
Yeah,
I really
would.
like it as a concept.
Yeah, I wish him well, to be honest. He seems like.
What do you think? I was going to say this. Like I think a lot of City fans would, because he's not really done anything wrong, and he feels like a bit of like a cult, figure. Not in the way that often have cult figures who don't play very much, and sometimes it's fun and game. Well, he's not quite that, because he has had major says in.
Well, the 100 points. He literally scored the goal against Southampton last minute, and that was huge. That was an incredible moment. Yeah. I feel like he, like many strikers, have suffered from the Sergio Aguero effect, essentially. Like there's so many players that have come in and tried to be the main man, and they just have to wait their turn until Aguero isn't that.
Well, Gabriel Jesus has waited his turn, and now it's a midfielder.
I actually agree, to be honest. I feel like Jesus this season should have been given the shirt and been told he's going to play 10 games up front through the middle. But I think he lost his spark a little bit in front of goal about 3 years ago, when his senses dulled a little bit.
He now doesn't take shots, does he?
No, he doesn't.
There's also that element,
nervous.
isn't there?
Oh, he's a free kick anyway.
That was very close. Benzema's just curled one just wide of the far post, outside the box. Nice angle for it. Might have been a free kick as well, but Modric sort of drives forward. It's Messi kind of tackles. Has he given it? No, they haven't. It's just
a good game.
We gave a corner.
Yeah, must have tipped it round or must have clipped it. I couldn't see either one.
That's a ball.
That's a ball. 𝗟𝗏 at the byline, crosses it in, and it's gone straight to Kimpembe, who's tried to score an own goal, and he's come really close. Yeah. Really close.
Very. Do you remember when they scored? Didn't PSG score an own goal?
He's miles offside, by the way. He's like 6 yards offside. How's the referee not stopped that?
I think he has.
That's the biggest offside I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
It is a good save.
What a save that was.
Does he definitely tip that?
I think he touches it, but it might be going wide anyway. But I think he gets to it.
He's used all his
camera's not helped us there.
Terrible angle.
But that was very offside.
Very offside.
Very offside. Decision.
I almost feel embarrassed for being excited by the moment, to be honest. I feel like I should have seen it from an impossible angle.
I like whenever I look over at City are in that exact position where they have 10 men, the opposition have 10 men behind the ball.
Yes.
And City are just they're just sort of standing around with the ball, like casually, sort of like halfway up the opponent's half. You're like, okay, cool. We're about to see that thing launched off.
We get so used to it. It's tough, to be honest. It's tough to break. It's not hard to watch, obviously, as a City fan, but it's tough to break these sides down when they want to. When they have a good day. It doesn't matter who you are, professional team, and you're organised. It's hard. It's just hard. That's why Grealish has been so useful since he came back as well. Actually, he's very good in those little tight spaces. He was excellent against United. Grealish.
Well, he's a beautiful carrier of the ball, isn't he? And
he's
once you beat one player, and it's not necessarily about necessarily all flicks and tricks. It's actually just the ability to drive past a player, and that opens up presses, because if people are going man to man, you're suddenly like
players would hate me if I was a manager, because I would implement a two take on rule. If you beat a player twice, if you beat 2 players, statistically the chances of beating a third must be tiny. So that after you beat them 2, make the pass. You've taken. I think it's logical, but you never see that.
Yeah, but you never get hero.
Surely though, like momentum.
You don't get hero goals.
You don't, no, which is terrible. So I'm an idiot. Ignore me.
You're an enemy of football.
Yeah, I am, but I'm probably right though.
Look, you're almost 100% right, but it's not fun.
It's like just once you beat.
I mean, let us know what you think. Would you make sure that players pass after beating
I would
3 players?
encourage it.
Hashtag LiveScore.
Not allowed to dribble past.
Let us know your thoughts. Any of them. Any of the major platforms.
It's the first time I've been called the enemy of football before, but I'll take that. I'm going to start coming out with really controversial takes. I think every player, should have a 5-minute rest whenever they want to. 2 balls on the pitch. Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it?
That sounds great. Well, it's also, I'm just thinking about all of these in 5-a-side terms, and that is the thing, isn't it? You beat one player at 5-a-side, you beat another one, you're like, I'm going to beat everyone. And
then
you always lose.
But as an amateur footballer, you have earned that right.
Oh, absolutely correct.
Sure.
Yeah. I think as a professional footballer, you've earned the right to take players on full stop.
What's your rule, Sam?
No, there's much more weighing on it. Like, you're supposed to play properly.
I play multi-ball in the Carabao Cup every time.
Did you see that? Marquinhos just tried a back heel in his own box to clear a ball, and it went straight to a Real Madrid player.
They're not going to give that, are they? That's not.
I don't think so. No, they've put the ball out of play so you can get treatment. But
Sterling followed my rule then, by the way. He did 2 take-ons
and then he
gave it away. But you tried.
Oh, good luck.
That's it. Look, Raheem Sterling is the kind of player that I think would follow this rule, to be fair to him.
He probably should do as well, actually. He's one of the biggest culprits. I love him. That's good defending from Egan Riley, to be fair to him. Got back well.
Surely
he looks miles off once again, but
he didn't go up, that flag.
He didn't, no. Was it Paulinho in behind?
It was Paulinho in behind. He's
Let's
also
have a look.
not very fast, which is the worry.
Oh, he is offside.
He's offside.
Yeah, just. But it's quite a nice takedown. It's just
It
then
was.
he's got to. The thing with Paulinho is that he misses so many sitters, but he only ever scores worldies. So I've decided his rule should be that he,
Don't shoot me in the air.
don't shoot if you're anywhere near the goal. Just if you look up, there's 15 players in front of you, and you think you can bend it
Unless
top
you can
in,
flick it
hit
up.
it.
Maybe something. Do something.
Lautaro Martinez, same thing.
Yeah. Well, Lautaro had what's the goal yesterday? What's the goal last night?
No, I wasn't impressed with him just giving up running when he was through on goal with Van Dijk.
Bizarre, wasn't it?
I just
never
press him
mind.
anyway, just in case anything happens.
He had that
That'll
in
be
the he had that in the first leg as well. There was a moment where he's
he did
running
it,
at
yeah.
Van Dijk and he
Just went,
looked him
nah.
in the eyes and went, nah.
And Dzeko did it too.
there's-
They
I'm
were
not a
just
fan of
like,
that.
I'm not wasting the energy.
I'm not a fan of that at all.
That's banned.
Yeah,
It's,
that's banned.
yeah,
Rule
don't
against
be a,
that.
Stevens
don't be a
rules,
coward.
that's banned.
It's cowardly football.
I mean, that is bad.
Lovely from Mbappé again.
Yeah.
He has definitely swapped sides, Sam.
He hasn't swapped sides. He's gone to the point of the attack, and he's been hanging around the D now and just outside the box in more central
I was
areas.
wondering if they might have started to play Messi behind a front two for a little while because they did implement that early on in the season. Just let him sort of drift around behind a two-pronged attack, and especially if you are playing on the counter, it makes sense to have both Mbappe and Neymar up.
Well, Mbappe obviously about 2 or 3 minutes ago we all went ooh like that and didn't explain it because we're too busy talking about silly rules. But Mbappe
I'm
had
quite into the rules.
Mbappe had
I apologise.
Sorry,
No, I'm
Messi
with
had
you, Steve.
Messi had dropped in and then tried to feed Neymar through and Neymar was sort of more towards the left hand side, and 𝗟𝗏 actually got back and produced quite an impressive slide tackle to stop that through ball, and Neymar would have been through on goal. So they're just trying to get Messi into those deeper areas and try to pull the strings and just try and lift the lid on the Real Madrid defence to try and get players running in over the top. Mbappe clearly has license to float around and find the matchup that he wants, more so certainly than the first leg when he was pretty much only allowed to play on the left wing, but that's fine because he was bullying 𝗟𝗏. So, but he hasn't.
That's why I thought
he
it was a
hasn't
bit
quite-
strange that he'd kind of
Well, he hasn't
moved roles.
hasn't quite had that effect on 𝗟𝗏 so far this game. I'm not saying he's been poor at all. Like he's got in down the left twice, but that was mostly over the top. But Militao and Real Madrid are doing a much better job of kind of protecting 𝗟𝗏. To be honest, looking at it right here, where Federico Valverde is, all the way over on the touchline, it's possible that he's playing as that right centre mid specifically to help protect.
Messi.
That's
PSG
nice,
are in the
isn't it?
box now.
Messi.
Messi to Neymar. Oh
No
no
way!
Oh my God!
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Little combination into the box, forces Messi a bit too wide. He's basically on the byline and he skips the ball over Courtois and it just kind of coasts across the goal line. Obviously, no one there to tap
He
it
needs,
home.
This football
he
is
needs
what you
one,
want them
by
to
the
be,
way.
isn't it?
He hasn't scored against Real Madrid since 2018.
Wow.
I think it's about
Really?
700 minutes, or nigh on
That feels
now.
wrong, though, doesn't it? Really.
It does feel wrong, but it is unfortunate.
I would outlaw that as well. I reckon.
Yeah, I'd outlaw Messi not scoring against Real Madrid. Ban it.
That was what you want to see from PSG, though, wasn't it? You want to see, if you got Neymar and Messi in the same team, again,
Yep.
I guess, you want to see those little moments, little interchanges, get them close together as possible.
The last 15 minutes has just been full of that.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely dreamy. And add Verratti into the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
The three of them are just,
Technicians.
they're just
That's
unbelievable.
what they're playing it, really.
Some nice
It's just genius,
intricate
isn't it?
moments.
The
Here's
combinations have been so lovely.
Messi's unlucky
He has
here
a-
'cause
he's
he
overhead,
does
hasn't
actually,
he,
he
but-
lifts it beautifully, he just doesn't get enough kind of curl
Yeah,
on
it doesn't, yeah. Brilliant. But all these combinations have typically been taking place 22 yards, 25 yards from goal.
Sterling.
Now, at least, they're in the box, so they're getting closer.
Yeah, it feels like PSG have come into the game.
They've revved up.
Yeah, they've started to go. Talking of intricate combinations, king of segues here. How's City getting on?
It's more of the same. It's been copy and paste the first 5 minutes, then the 10, second, 15. It's been City essentially just dominating possession without really creating any chances.
Don't need
I
to.
mean, there's nothing really much more to say other than it's just City
It feels a bit
passing
like
it around nicely. Foden is dropping a little bit deeper than he usually does in the false nine role. To be honest, I kind of want him to see him do more of that. I really like him when he's facing the goal, and I can't wait to next season when he's essentially freed from the false nine reins, or shackles even, sorry. But yeah, we're just kind of going through the motions. I would like
It feels
one
a bit
goal-
like a
Is he
training
is
game,
he
isn't
getting
it?
freed up there because do you think Julian Alvarez is going to come straight in and just boss it, or is
Or because hopefully the big man, you know. Yeah, that would be nice. And of course, by that we mean, you know,
he wants Erling Haaland?
that could be anyone, couldn't it? Nice Haaland, yeah. I want him.
He wants Edin Dzeko.
He's
doesn't
just
want
really,
Edin
really
Dzeko.
after
Back-
Gianluca.
I'm sorry, by the way.
He's
It's a
really
fact. If
after
you chase
Gianluca
Liverpool, you don't put
Scamacca.
Dzeko on. You're absolutely.
I can't believe they didn't start him, but yeah.
Put Dzeko on against when he's chasing the goal. Last night I was fuming about him. But
I
either
quite
way,
like Joaquin Correa, to be fair. Joaquin Correa, a bit of a fan, so I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Anyone
but
called
he said
Joaquin,
Dzeko,
really.
innit?
It just does it for me.
But I can counter by just saying it's Edin Dzeko. You know.
Yeah,
so.
no, you're right. You're right.
But no, I do think Foden will go back into midfield or possibly back on the left wing again if we sign a striker, or if we play Julian Alvarez. And I think Pep actually likes the sound of him. And
hello.
He's offside.
The flag's up.
oh, he's doing his little celebration.
He's done his celebration. You can't disallow it now.
Yeah. No, his brand manager won't be happy about that, will they?
I mean, it's
it's
certainly going to be one of these. Nuno Mendes kind of escapes down the left-hand side. We'll check it here. It's basically on. Oh, he's miles off.
He's offside. Yeah.
He is off. He is off, unfortunately. So left back Nuno Mendes escapes down the left, keeps the ball in, gets to the byline, pops it back in, and Mbappé slams it.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. I mean, he was offside.
It's better in the Champions League, to be fair.
Yeah,
just look at it go. He's offside.
Good at it.
Instead of watching it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. They don't draw the lines, they just go, he looks off.
Yeah, well, so it's obvious. That's another rule I would do.
They're watching the LiveScore watch-along.
Yeah.
We've all agreed it was off. Oh, the lad said it was off.
Anyway. They've got the little momentum, they've got the widgets, and they're following that, and they can tell.
Yeah. Widgets. Ooh, and Real Madrid straight down the other end. 𝗟𝗏 crosses it, and maybe Valverde crosses it in, and Benzema flashes a header at goal. And, well, it's kind of easy for Donnarumma in the end, but...
Do you think he deserved the yellow card last night to get sent off Sanchez?
I don't think he did. I think it's, to be honest, I think he should have gone for the first tackle.
I didn't see that. I'd be lying if I said he did. So, but I think
he's high and studs up in the first tackle. And to be honest, I didn't think he'd got booked, and I was furious. And then when he got sent off, I was like, oh, he must have got booked. So I actually was like, well, okay, fine. I think probably on the balance of the two challenges, he probably should have been sent off.
Maybe, referees consider that, to be fair, don't they? I mean, there's an element that you shouldn't, but...
Yeah, the first one was an orange.
So the orange card.
Any more, you're getting...
Well, what's that extra quarter?
Yeah, well, that's it. I think he's
what colour's that?
Yeah, I don't know. Just like a really, really pale shade.
Just like dash of yellow.
A whiter shade of pale, as Procol Hara would say. I think it probably, on the balance of that.
I have an issue with slow motion replays and judging these things. I genuinely do. I feel like they
it's tough, isn't it?
They distort reality, because they give perception that we start, putting our reactions onto something that's 10 times slower. And like he gets the ball and he's hit him before he even realises what he's done. So I don't think he meant it. I mean,
the problem with the slow mo replay is you can't measure force.
No, or intent, or what's going through the head.
Yeah.
It's also, the other thing is it's really stupid. And I actually have a bit of a thing here that if player does something dumb, you deserve extra punishment.
I know, I agree. Actually, it was dumb as anything.
I was like, what are you doing? Don't go flying in there. You've just scored. Settle for a minute and
he's not a cool head, Sanchez.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was that for me. I was like, well, if you're gonna be that stupid in a situation that you just fully don't need
enjoying his football.
It was good to see it. It was good to see him back. To be fair, I will give.
Oh, Jesus has done well there.
Valverde rolls this up. Oh, hello. Good ball from Verratti. Bit of pressure for Madrid here, over here. Couple of minutes, Park's in PSG's third. Good bit of pressure. Take the sting out of it a little bit. Benzema header, saved. Vinicius Jr. is playing really well, guys. Oh, Benzema header again! Oh my God, that was so close. That was so close. Good grief. Kroos has bent that ball in. Back post, no one's marking Benzema. Directs it back across goal. Unfortunately, it's far too wide. Donnarumma might have it covered, but you think maybe Benzema might do a little bit better there. He's basically unmarked. I'm expecting the net to ripple. That is a golden opportunity.
Alexander Mitrovic buries that.
Probably does.
Here's something I didn't expect to be saying. 37 minutes in, Marquinhos is not having a good game.
No.
He's not having a good game.
Sterling's through a goal. Oh, he's trying to ding the keeper, Raheem.
Unlucky.
Lovely first touch, to be fair.
It's 5-0, you can do what you want.
Yeah, you can.
I like the idea of Raheem going for the dink there.
It's a lovely ball from Foden, by the way. Look at that first time ball. That's a really nice pass. Taken well by Sterling, to be fair.
Okay.
Cushioned it nicely to the keeper, and he's tried to dink it. Keeper's done well, actually.
Well done, keeper.
He's done really well.
It's maybe not the worst decision, to be honest, because there's bodies in the box.
Yeah, it was a good save. It was a good save.
They have drawn the lines eventually.
Yeah, here's that individual offside. I mean, it was offside. Couple of headers for Benzema in the last 5 minutes, guys. They're warming up. They're responding.
It's really getting into a good game. Also, just as you said that Marquinhos thing, he made an absolutely ludicrously good challenge on Vinicius to win the ball and the throw in.
Bodied him as well.
Yeah.
So in the build up to that second Benzema header, Marquinhos just literally passed the ball straight to Kroos for no reason.
He's also just tried to play a dink pass out of his own box to the corner flag and put Verratti right under it.
He did a backheel in his own box and backheeled it to Vinicius.
I've got to put it out. I think
I admire
rate
it.
it.
Just keep it interesting, you know?
It's not 5-0.
Yeah.
You can't do this stuff.
Is Benzema warming up the key point here, though, Sam? Because you look at what his record is: 5 goals in this year's Champions League.
Yeah.
It is unbelievably dangerous.
And
he's having another wonderful season.
Yeah.
He's getting better with age.
Yeah.
Mercedes Benzema,
And he's the reason that Real Madrid carry a threat in this game as opposed to last game when he did play, but he was clearly unfit. And he just hobbled around for like 85 minutes, barely touched the ball, couldn't control the ball
Mbappe's in
properly.
again.
Oh, he's through.
We'll hold that thought as Mbappé goes through. Alaba's tracking him. Mbappé,
Oh,
there
there
he
we go.
is! That's the goal.
That
he gets
could
to
be
do the celebration this time.
His brand manager's delighted. That's
How many times are we going to
That's
see
the
that
sense, I would say,
celebration at the Bernabeu over the next
Don't
5
spoil
years?
it
Yeah.
for PSG fans. Don't do that. Don't do that.
no, you're right though. You're right. Absolutely
I
right.
mean, you are right. Yeah,
It's an amazing look. This is the risk, right?
He's done
the
so
risk
well
and reward that Real Madrid are playing with. This is glorious because it's Alaba tracking him as well. It's a nice ball from Neymar.
That's a lovely ball from
Yeah.
Neymar.
So Neymar and Messi have dropped into those pockets and tried to play those balls over the top for Mbappe. They've just kind of played with him up high on the left. I think Mbappe's he's opened out to maybe shape as if he's going to go far post, which Alaba has covered, I think. So Mbappe opens to go and then fakes it and comes inside. And it's the same finish as the disallowed goal a second ago because he went near post, it went off the inside of the post. This one hasn't, don't think it's hit the post, but
It's hit Courtois.
it's hit Courtois and it's gone in. I think it's a good finish rather than anything else. But it's just great poise in front of goal. I mean, he's had enough warm-up shots.
But also he's having such an effect up there. Let's pull up his heat map actually, and look, he's everywhere up top, and he has drifted.
So
yes, a lot of it's on the left, but he does feel like he is picking up that exact kind of centre forward on the left of a two position and driving to that space.
That really hot part there, that white hot part, as we'll call it, that is where he's receiving the ball. Yeah. And then he can just go and just drive with the ball, and he cuts inwards, and he's had a couple of shots saved by Courtois, he's had one disallowed, and now he's finally got his goal. He's been an absolute menace once again.
Also,
Kimpembe. Ooh, what are you
lots
doing?
going on.
Real Madrid corner now.
There was a lot of
This is brilliant. This is honestly brilliant.
It's a great game.
I'm having a wicked time.
It's a really intriguing contest.
You're loving it, aren't you?
I'm having a wicked
He's
time.
so happy. It's adorable.
I just have a really good
Bernardo.
time every time Bernardo gets the ball, full stop.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Well, I imagine there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
Mostly the fans of
Well-
opposition teams who City are playing.
Well, they should. They don't realise how lucky they are to watch it.
Yeah.
So they should enjoy it.
The little magician having a
I love
wonderful
Bernardo.
time again.
I want to be friends with Bernardo. I'm convinced I could be.
Every single person at the Bernabeu is arguing.
Everyone, even pals are next to each other.
They're all arguing.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Crowd are going mad. I thought you meant arguing with Stephen about watching Bernardo. I was like, are they? I was like, seems a bit irrelevant to their game right now. What is? Asensio swings a corner in.
Yeah. Catch that, mate.
Donnarumma
Yeah,
loves
he
a
should've
punch,
got it.
doesn't he?
Donnarumma's punched it straight back to Asensio.
6'5" keepers should not be punching it
For
constantly.
no reason whatsoever.
He's a big bear.
He's a big guy, yeah.
The field and the half turn is one of my favourite things in football. That's why.
Oh.
Genuinely, he's
Modric has had a sighter.
incredibly blessed at that.
30-yard shot from Modric. Is it? Can you tell he's frustrated?
Well, to be fair, he scored one at the weekend.
Oh, belter! Absolute
So,
belter!
I don't hugely blame. Also, Real Madrid at the weekend were good for part of, they were pressing and they played really well, but in the last 10 minutes you could tell they were starting to get frustrated, and it was 2 absolute scorchers that opened the game up. Sometimes those are the ones that's accidentally
lovely.
really worked.
Go on, Leo. I don't really want to cheer on.
PSG.
No, I don't.
just
But
want
you
goals.
like Leo?
Just
I
want goals.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Neymar
It's
tried to
strange.
do a skill there, messed it up, and it
And it still worked.
It still went to his teammate.
Yeah.
That's class.
That's how you know you're good at football.
When your mistakes are classy.
Oh, Modric.
Yeah, that
Going
was
in a
little
bit hard on
harsh.
a bit cheeky there on Neymar. Oh, Messi
stupid
flicked
from
it
Messi.
over someone's head.
PSG,
I don't even know how he
PSG
saw that. You know, like, there
PSG
was
are doing a
sort
showboat. It's 42 minutes in the game that they could very much.
Still in the
They
balance.
did that against us though, and it went wrong. You got to keep your cool, haven't you, a little bit?
Yeah.
I think
Get
to
a
be
bit
fair,
cocky.
they're just trying to get to half time.
Yeah.
But,
Also, right now they are definitely keeping their cool. They look
They
cool
do look
lads,
good, to be
mate.
fair, yeah.
Oh, Yeah, they're just circulating around now.
the rondos are
Really
coming out
enjoying
now.
it.
Oh, look at that.
Has Danilo just
Megged him.
nutmegged Nacho? And Nacho's...
And surely that's a card, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Mbappe's making sure.
That was just pure, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
fed up
fuming.
of this.
He's fuming. Also, now he's got Neymar running over the whole game on a card.
There's a red in this game, isn't there?
Oh, there's
Absolutely
definitely.
wait.
This is going to boil over.
Can't wait.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't.
No, this is on a slow cooker, isn't it? This game. It really is.
It's
you know
like
what I
a
mean?
training exercise.
Yeah. This is stew on the go for a few days.
Vinicius has just been booked for lots of arguing.
Yeah, Vinicius strikes me as a bit of a hothead at the moment. He's young, obviously, so it's fine. But like, he does strike me as someone who will be very upset if this goes wrong.
Yeah, he's playing really well as well. So I can understand why he's quite annoyed.
I like it.
As is often the case, he and Benzema are...
Oh no, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I just think he might
He's
get
only
sent
young.
off.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Magistas don't like it, but, you know.
Well,
Ooh, that's a big clearance there. Militao's done very well. PSG parked on Real Madrid's 18-yard line here, basically. Just trying to see the half out. Bit of possession, but if the opportunity arises to cross it in like that, why not?
Messi at left back.
Honestly, these combinations are just stunning.
Beautiful, aren't they? Oh.
but they just
They've
keep winning
got
it back really
again.
high
Yeah,
up.
Nuno Mendes just won it back straight off Valverde and more circulation. Incredible. This is incredible.
Half time at City.
Genuinely, that was the first 3 or 4 minutes just on repeat until the end. It really was just everything you expect City to do is going through the motions, passing around a little
We'll
bit.
come to it because
Because Messi.
Oh, he's
that's a
trying to
big
make him-
tackle. If he would shoot with his right foot,
Yeah.
that would have been different, but he won't do it, will he?
ref put his whistle to his lips there. I'm not quite sure what he thought he was going to give because it definitely wasn't a penalty.
Nothing. It was a really good block tackle. In the end.
Yeah, but he really did go whistle to lips. Maybe he thought it was half time.
We've got
Maybe
10,
it was
10
expecting a goal.
seconds and then whatever's added over in this game.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine there might be a fair bit added on because I think every minute is going to
Yeah.
count in Madrid, whereas... I mean,
don't worry about that one. That one's-
the
that one's-
officials are like, oh, lads,
whatever.
should get this done so we can...
They had the
all go
kettle
home."
on ready for him at half time. They are absolutely
A
relaxed.
couple of Jaffa cakes. Everyone's very excited. To be fair, I look like I'm a Jaffa cake right now, so I can't really give anyone any shit.
You came dressed as he cosplayed
I
as
came
a
dressed
Jaffa
as a Jaffa cake for the half-time show. That's how committed I am to the cause.
It's like just nibbling on the chair for a bit of energy.
Yeah, talking of half-time,
So, is it talking to Jaffas?
don't forget to get involved using the hashtag LiveScoreWatchAlong. We'll try and answer some of those questions during the half-time period, as well as discussing both of these games. One, I'd imagine, in slightly more depth than the other. So that's all very exciting.
Vinicius is up for it, isn't he?
Go on, Vinny.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no.
But every time they lose it, you're like, is he just going to go?
That was an interesting bit of
Oh,
dribbling from. Yeah, that was. What was he?
it was Mbappé who just ended up in the dugout.
It was
Just to jump over a chair.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's such a good ball.
Yeah.
Such a good ball from Neymar on the spin. A
First
real
time
sweep.
spin, left foot,
I mean, that's
brilliant.
the ball. This-
Mbappé keeps his angle open. It's great. Alaba's convinced he's going far post.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's giving him the
100%.
eyes, doesn't he, Courtois?
Yeah.
Even the way he opened his body up, it looks.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Also, that's a very
intentional, isn't
Mbappe
it?
finish to open
Yeah.
up and go far
Yeah,
post,
loves
right?
that finish.
Which is why I suppose he's gone near post for the 2 goals. Well, 2 goals
Yeah.
he scored.
Well, young Messi did that a lot, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
He used
I
to
loved
use
it.
the eyes
Yeah.
very well.
Here goes Hakimi on a charge.
One last storm forward for
This could be a
Hakimi.
goal, this, you know. I've got a feeling. Yeah.
Oh my God, you've got very strong
Yeah,
feeling.
I have.
Neymar in the box. Oh, that's a brilliant tackle. Militao, man. But Verratti's clipped it to the back post.
I had that
Courtois ends up gathering. That is going to be that.
That will be that.
Man.
That's going to
Good
be
half,
half
though, wasn't
time.
it?
Very good
Really
half
good half.
in Madrid. Very exciting.
Fantastic.
This
has been
Could have the
great.
end-to-end 1-1 that we predicted.
you could do.
we could do,
It
yeah.
could be
We
the
could have
2-all.
Could be the
There we
2-all.
go. Half time in Madrid.
Half time.
All scorelines are still on the table.
They are.
Shall we start in Manchester?
Yeah,
Let's
honestly,
start in Manchester.
It's not the focus of tonight.
No.
The only thing for me, I guess, is that we're minutes closer to seeing some of the academy lads, because that's the story for City.
Well, I was
fans.
going to say, does Pep make these changes at half time?
He makes them 10 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
I reckon. That's where he starts to. But to be honest, City have been professional. You know, it hasn't been particularly interesting. A couple of moments as opposed to chances.
There's
Jesus has been a bit
nothing
lively.
for Sporting at all.
No,
like,
nothing. We've had 65% possession, 4 shots on goal. Sporting have had none. Pep will be happy about that for what it's worth. He still obviously values control and so on. And it's just been as lifeless and as stoic as you'd expect, really.
Stoic, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, should we take a look at the match momentum? Because I imagine this is going to be one-way traffic.
There you go.
Is that a glitch?
It's almost a bit patronising, isn't it?
That's really
Yeah,
bad.
to a point. It's just kind of like, okay, this is what we did.
I mean, in this instance, I would argue that you could bring on 4 academy players and nothing's going to shift there. The game is set in its way already, isn't it?
I mean, for those who haven't been watching this game, the question would be, how haven't City scored? But actually, there hasn't been particularly anything clear-cut either, right?
I mean, you guys talked a lot, because you know the sporting team a lot more than me about how attacking they were, but they've sat back a lot deeper than expected, given the players on the pitch. And
I don't think that's their choice, mate.
The managers.
No, Man City have made that
Well,
happen.
yeah, they've made it happen, to be fair. But they've defended pretty well, I would say. A couple of moments where Sterling's got it behind. We've looked at that little kind of slide will pass behind the fullbacks quite often, and Jesus and Sterling have had a little bit of luck, but you can tell this is a team that hasn't got Mahrez, that hasn't got Grealish, hasn't got De Bruyne. As good as these players are, a lot of them, they're the ones that come in for these games right now, which seems crazy given it's Jesus and Sterling and so on. But it's job done. It just feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like the way at the start, and I imagine it's going to feel like that even more when there are these academy products on. But at least there is a point to prove. I know, we can say the same for Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus, that they're trying to force their way into the starting 11. But we know that's often not how Pep thinks and how Pep works, right? So, even if you get a hat-trick here tonight, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to be into the squad for Saturday's game. But the youngsters might think a little differently about making a name, about making a splash, especially in this competition, right? Because you do see some youngsters, not really at City to be fair, but some youngsters come in, play once, and then never again, or eventually they get shipped out somewhere else, a little bit lower down the league, never get another Champions League appearance, and you want your ones to remember and to stick out when you do get to the end of your careers.
The thing as well about the ones that are on the bench, they are the kind of youngsters that come on and try and do something. I know the ones like Sammadozzi's a really wiry, exciting young winger who scored a bunch of goals in pre-season. Pep personally name-checked yesterday in the press conference, and Liam Delap bulldozing forward, who's just pure. Well, he's beautifully brutal, is the best way I can put it. And then, of course, McAtee, he's just a gifted technician, so skillful, scores loads of goals. He's got an eye for spectacular as well. So these players,
they're the kind of players,
those players will make something happen, which I'm quite excited. They're not like young Phil Foden when he came on, when he got into the first team. He was he kept it very safe and sensible, and which was, he essentially did his best David Silva impression. But what I like about these three that I think will come on is they are a little bit more explosive, and that is always good to watch. You want to see the 18-year-old come on who wants to make a name for himself.
Oh, absolutely,
It's just fun as a football fan in general. I do think we'll see one of them come on, and I think one of them will probably even score, which will be great. And I'm hoping that we see a little bit of energy, because there's not been much in this game, if I'm being honest.
All right. Let's flip.
Here than there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's flip, shall we, to Madrid. And talking of youngsters who made an impression on this stage, and continue to make an impression on this stage, Kylian Mbappé has been. Well, I meant really when he broke through.
How old is he now? Mbappé, 22, 23,
something like that.
Yeah, I mean he's now scored more goals than Zlatan for PSG, which is pretty ridiculous, isn't it? Like considering how Zlatan is perceived at Paris.
Yes, absolutely. He was the one that changed it all. I mean, with Zlatan, he was kind of like the landmark signing, wasn't he, of their new project. He is the kind of name that you sign to try and encourage other big names to join your project, to try and give it that veil of legitimacy.
I guess it worked.
Well, it worked because about 5 years later, their project was so legitimate, they signed Mbappé.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Milan sign the next one.
Absolutely. So Mbappe's been amazing tonight so far. I mean, he's had a couple of good chances that Courtois has saved, a couple really early on actually. Then he had a goal disallowed, and then finally he got himself on the score sheet legitimately. He's been a terror, an absolute terror. Spent about 25 minutes or so off the left flank, being just released in behind. Neymar and Messi were dropping in to these little pockets a bit deeper, coming off the forward line, collecting the ball off Verratti or Paredes, and just knocking it over the top, and just giving Mbappé that chance to run into space. And he absolutely loves that, doesn't he? The exact type of attack that he wants. And just coming in off that left side, just being able to cut onto his right foot, he's been an absolute menace. Then he sort of milled around the penalty box for 10 minutes, sort of switched it up a bit, decided to try that bit over there. Then he went back over to the left and did indeed get his goal. But this has been a really good performance in PSG so far.
Yeah, I mean,
it's tie, hasn't it, so far, Mbappé?
It's been really interesting. But across the course of the tie, it's kind of swung, right? And here's the momentum map.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really has had. It felt like Madrid were unbelievably on top. PSG rode out the storm and then started to come into it, and you can see that from where it happens. Although the PSG goal does come when Madrid were on top, which is maybe what you expect from a counter, right?
Absolutely, hugely against the run of play in that sense. But the first 15 minutes were all Real Madrid. I mean, look, incredible atmosphere there tonight. Tifo, passion, noise. And the team have to come out swinging. They're 1-0 down and they proclaim to be the kings of Europe. They're 1-0 down in aggregate. They've got to come out swinging. And they did. They didn't really fashion much on goal, but they came out, played with a really good intensity and aggression, and they trapped PSG into their defensive third. Then after about 15 minutes, PSG started to get their foot on the ball. Combinations started happening. Messi, Neymar, Verratti in central areas. Mbappé not so involved in that sense, but those three just sort of dinking it, ducking it around.
What can they do now, Madrid, in your opinion?
I mean, the problem is that they're in a game state scenario here where they are extremely vulnerable. Yeah. Because the exact goal they've already conceded can happen again however many times in the second half.
I mean, you can see it
and
here
there's
on the XG timeline, right?
And there's nothing that Real Madrid can do really to stop that type of PSG attack happening, because they have to continue to attack.
To be fair, they have. You talked about chances there, and you're right. There weren't loads and loads of clear-cut chances, but there was a couple of Benzema headers where one was a relatively comfortable save. There was another which he drifted wide, which he probably should have got on target. Yeah. There's that shot from outside the box which he curls very narrowly wide. Yeah. They're not playing badly.
No,
and you kind of, I think, if you're Real Madrid, I suppose, have to just stick with what you're doing.
Keep it up.
Try to keep that intensity as high as you possibly can, and kind of trust that anything that goes over the back is going to be dealt with by what is a wonderful defence and a wonderful goalkeeper. Yes, it leaves you vulnerable, 100%, but you can't really do anything else.
There's nothing else you can do here. You are playing into PSG's hands, but that's
the option.
There's nothing you can do about that. They're 2-0 down after a game and a half.
Yeah,
unfortunately they've got to throw caution to the wind. I mean, it's not like they haven't done so over the course of this first half. They have tried to exert pressure on PSG. They have threatened on goal. I mean, both sides have taken a fair few shots that haven't amounted to much, to be honest with you. PSG have taken quite a few from 20 yards or so, and Real Madrid the same, a few headers, a few shots from 20 yards. This is what happens when every time you get near the edge of the box, you are closed down by some of the world's best centre-backs. Yeah. And I have to say, 𝗟𝗏 is defending his box brilliantly once again. Now, he's been absolutely excellent. And the times that Mbappé has been forced too wide, so he had to shoot on his left foot, Militao was there to force him wide. He was able to keep up for him, step for step, push him wide. It's 𝗟𝗏 that's had the slight issues when he has to come across. But that's when he has to come across and cover. Of course, all of this ignores the fact that 𝗟𝗏 is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, 𝗟𝗏 is playing as an auxiliary winger, and it does mean that Mbappé is basically all the space of Madrid to get in.
Absolutely.
The back.
The one player we haven't really mentioned so far here, just at half time, is Vinicius Junior, who is playing really well.
He's been excellent.
Every time they get the balls of Vinicius Junior, he has been able to take on 2 or 3 players, much to Stephen's dismay. Sometimes it's 3. 2 or 3 players, jink into the box, jink around a few players and cause some problems. He draws people out of their positions to try and attack him and tackle him, and he nips around them, and then it opens stuff. He's been very unselfish so far. Every time he beats a couple of players, he tries to find the pass. He tries to tee up Modric or Kroos, or try to find Benzema. In the second half, given that he got booked for arguing with the ref, I think he might be a bit annoyed. I think we might see a few dribbles followed by a few shots in the second half as he tries to take it into his own hands. Because right now, Real Madrid's only threat is cross from the right to Benzema to try and head it in.
Yeah.
Which isn't good. It's not good enough.
No, it's not. It's not varied enough, I think.
No, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, look, we're going to spend, I think, most of the second half talking about this game. So I just want to come back to Manchester very briefly. And I want to talk about a couple of things. One is how Fernandinho has controlled this game.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's come in at his age, and we've seen Rodri supersede him as, City's main defensive midfielder. But look at Fernandinho's pass map. He has been magnificent in the
finest of wines, aged beautifully. There is talk that City trying to convince him to stay for another year as well, which is...
wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
No, I mean, look, he's not going to start in the biggest games for Manchester City, but that senior leadership role that he's got in general, and that once again you can see his pass completion there, it's fantastic, and he's the master of that kind of that lofted 30-yard diagonal behind the full-backs, which Rodri's been learning as well, and Gundogan picked up a little bit from Fernandinho, and Pep values him so much.
But it forces teams backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and look, you can see this from where Sporting have been, because they're so worried about that dink over the top that the back line just sit on the edge of the box.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it makes it a little bit harder because everyone sits a little bit deeper, but it's nice to know that that is an option. And I think then, of course, if they sit a bit deeper, it gives more space for people like Foden to drop a bit deeper and get on the ball. And Fernandinho, I mean, I hate Fernandinho mainly because he reminds me that we're all getting a little bit older, and like he's the same age as me.
He's aging really slowly.
Yeah, and
he ages slower than everyone else.
But I'm the same age as him, so my life ages at the same speed. I'm like, oh, and he's the old man on the pitch now, and I'm like, oh, stop making me feel inadequate, Ferner. But
off the top of your head, just like how many starts do you think Fernandinho has made this year?
I would say about
5, less than.
I would guess about 8 or 9, but maybe I might be wrong with that.
No, I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Curious.
I don't know the exact answer, but like he's been
the back,
but I feel like he's phased out like so well.
No, he has.
Like so well though.
But
they've handled it so well.
I wonder if he's happy with that, and I mean, we'll see if he stays or not. Because I think he wants to play more regularly. He probably could somewhere because he's still obviously an excellent footballer.
Oh, yeah.
But he's absolutely going to go into coaching eventually as well. Pep loves him to bits. All the players do. Very popular figure amongst the dressing room. And McAtee's coming on, which is great stuff. This, if anyone's watching, doesn't know much about him. This guy is a kid to be very, very, very excited about. He's just been convinced to sign a new deal, so he's got another 4.5 years on his contract left. He's called the Salford Silver, which I love. That's his nickname.
No relation to Jason, I assume.
No, unfortunately, no. That's McAtee, though.
Yeah, he's definitely missing a letter.
Yeah.
I just thought they left that off the shirt.
But Mahrez and
11 starts for Fernandinho, by the way.
11. Right,
11.
Gotcha.
Ah. So you made me feel more conscious. I played it down actually a little bit. I was like, oh god, because I trust your knowledge more than mine.
So who's he come on for? He's come on for Foden.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird because I just, you guys are the muffins.
What does that mean for the shape though, Stephen? If he comes on for Foden there, are they going to play him as a false 9?
I wouldn't be surprised if, so Jesus will go into the middle, Mahrez will go into the right, I reckon, because Mahrez has just come on as well for, who did he come on for? I didn't catch it. But Mahrez is definitely going on to the right.
I'll check the last score out.
If Jesus comes up there.
Good idea, Sam.
Yeah. If Jesus came off, then I don't know who the other substitution was, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, well, we'll see shortly. I think
very shortly.
When it updates.
But McAtee, he can play the false 9. He's played there for the academy side. I don't like him there mainly because he wants to be facing the goal. You know,
does he want to be? Is he an 8 or a winger in this?
He's one of the false 8s, but I would say generally he's more of a. To be honest, he was more of a Silva type, but he's got forward and started scoring goals, which is kind of he's literally somewhere between De Bruyne and David Silva, which sounds incredible, I know, but
in terms of style,
yes, right,
rather than ability.
David Silva-esque in terms of how he likes to kind of play those little 6-7 yard passes, you know, which are just absolutely dictate a game, and then he dribbles. Very Bernardo Silva-y as well. He likes to beat people.
This is a combination.
He scored 24 goals or something this year for the under 23s, something like that.
Defends like company, shoots like Aguero. You know the kid.
You know
He's
the
all
type.
right. Yeah, he's all right.
Sometimes we stick him in goal.
Yeah, he's the new Edison.
He's going to do nothing now. I've said that, but I don't like him as a false 9 because I want him on the ball.
He looks like he's in the midfield.
It does. He looks like Jesus on the left, Sterling through the middle, McAtee playing as a number 8, which is probably his best position.
Dreamy, right? Well, that's a reason to be excited.
Yeah, it was Bernardo and Foden that came off.
Bernardo, yeah. I would. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
There's just no need for those lads to be on the pitch.
No, there isn't.
Well, maybe Bernardo wanted to complete his hat trick from the first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good old Bernardo with his dog called John.
What?
He's named his dog after John Stones. Genuinely true.
I bet.
It's my favourite Bernardo fact. I love it.
He doesn't even call him João. It really upset me.
He probably just lost a bet.
Because Johnny is just João in Portuguese, right?
Is it?
Is
it?
Yeah.
Well,
so it's actually John Cancelo at left back.
John Cancelo. I like it. What's Cancelo in English?
I'm afraid
I
don't know.
Presumably cancel.
Yeah, maybe he's just Jack Collins.
John Cancel.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's it. Maybe that's it.
I've actually got a t-shirt, Cancelo one.
Cancelo culture.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Very
thank
good.
you.
Like that a lot. Yeah.
Did you?
This is the second homemade t-shirt.
That sounded like a lie.
No, it's true. I like to make my own t-shirts.
Yeah, I made that myself. Yeah.
Silver. I'm not like hand-on made it. You know.
We had the silver one in the first.
Silver in the Sega logo.
Very good, very good. Oh. We've had a. I'm excited. Every time Stephen comes, I just want to see a
I've got Bernardo in the Nintendo logo as well.
This guy's a genius.
Yeah, no, I know.
I like my terrible puns. What can I say?
It's all very. Oh,
go on.
Sid, you're in.
Oh, come on, there we go. Jesus on the left.
There we go. That's the answer after all.
After all, there we go.
And you need a left winger. Gabby Jesus is your man.
McAtee, there we go. That's the difference he makes. I don't know if you can touch the ball, but that's what I'll give him credit for. That was, he gave me the eyes there. That was the Mbappé finish. Near post.
Yeah, very, very good. Lovely finish, Gabby
Let's have a look.
Jesus.
So Zinchenko inside to...
You missed a goal because you're too busy showing us your T-shirt.
Yeah, it was. That,
What a
lovely
touch.
from Mahrez.
What a
That's
touch
special.
from Mahrez.
And
then bumbles it around a bit.
That's
And then he gets it.
Oh, he might be offside. Yeah.
I'd give it to him. He needs the
I
confidence.
I would give it to him, but to me that's onside in
The
general.
VAR must know
I don't think he's
that
offside.
the game's over. We just need goals. Also, my game's kicked off again,
Okay, we're underway in
just in
Madrid.
case anyone needed to know.
And just as Madrid started the first half, PSG have absolutely stormed forward off kickoff.
Yeah.
I think he might give us as offside. I
I'll
genuinely
be
think
very disappointed if they do that.
that's my overall change. I'd go where the feet are.
Oh no, I think this is a very sensible. I think there might be some.
What if he scores with his head?
I don't care.
Okay.
You're only stood where your feet are, aren't you?
Yeah, it's true. I think your feet
I
should be
think
the
it's the
point.
easiest way to make football simple. Like none of this. It's armpit. Just put it where the feet is.
For a minute there, I saw the text for the VAR said goal check in Portuguese, and I thought they'd just done it because it was Gabby Jesus. And I was like, that's nice.
That's nice,
I think
yeah.
they've also given it as offside.
Oh,
yeah.
no goal. Offside.
No goal.
That's a shame.
Roll it out.
Look at Jesus.
Unlucky. Get another one.
Try again.
Go on, lad.
See if Mahrez can do it all again for you.
You notice how he lost the ball to two players taken on, by the way.
That is true.
Still scored. Unbelievable.
This is going to be a big half over in Spain.
Oh yeah.
I would like a Real Madrid
Yeah.
goal here.
First,
Cat amongst the pigeons. What's that in Spanish? Does anyone know?
I'm afraid not.
El Cato.
Normally my language is quite good. But
Oh,
the cat amongst the
Pidgeotto.
pigeons, I don't know.
I think it's probably not Pidgeotto. That's a Pokemon.
But it's definitely not that.
yeah, that is definitely a Pokemon.
And Meowth amongst the Pidgeotto.
Oh, talking of Jesus, we've got a question from Dylan Joyce who says, "What do you gents think of Jesus' performance tonight?" Stephen, I'll go to you.
Dylan, I think he's been good, mate. He's been lively, bustling as he always is. That's the best way to describe Jesus. Just energy, work rate. Some nice little dribbles as well, actually. He probably could have had a penalty in the first half, and probably a little bit unlucky not to score then. He's one of the most unlucky players in terms of marginal offside decisions, Jesus. He's had so many against him, which I think often is a bit unfair, but Jesus is just so reliable. I feel sorry for players who are constantly at least 7 out of 10 because they don't often have the standout game to get them in the side.
He's
but
also
they,
versatile. You're
Yeah.
versatile and reliable.
Yeah, it's
the
just means
chances
you don't play
are
often.
you're going to be a utility player.
yeah, and
for
it's
a
just
little
not
while,
fair
so.
because he deserves a little bit better than that. But yeah, good player done. Really, really rate him.
But this is it. He's come over to the left now. He looks as involved as he was in the first. So suddenly you're like, okay, this is nice. You know, he's not going to
He started the season really well, actually.
He's not going to score a 30-yard screamer.
Nice ball there. Oh, okay.
But he's also, always going to turn in the performance. You're like, yep, good
He's
stuff.
had
good
his
stuff,
moment at
good
City.
man.
His big moment, the 100 points. I mean, look at that. He's off by his armpit. I mean, what the hell? Who cares about that?
He's very unlucky.
Yeah.
That is very unfortunate.
He's about the same distance as Nuno Mendes was
Yeah.
offside for from Mbappe's first.
I mean, in that instance, he's basically been punished for being alert. Like he's just leaning forward a little bit because he's read the game a little bit better than.
Well, it's a bit like that one where was it Patrick Bamford who was pointing where he wanted the ball?
Yeah, it's so silly.
Yes.
And
There's
that-
McAtee on the ball now. The guy who's the perfect footballer allegedly.
The dream.
Yeah.
McAtee, the dream. Live, laugh, McAtee.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, he's left it behind. Are you kidding?
It's essential.
That was-
That's what he
that
does.
That was it. That was the one. Is he given a foul as well? So basically, the second half so far has just been Real Madrid passing it around, but finally it opened up a little bit. Again, it's Vinicius who takes it round one player, and I thought he was going to shape up to shoot, and then he plays this lovely little kind of reverse pass into the box, into Asensio's path. I think it's about weighted right, and Asensio just kind of leaves the ball behind, unfortunately, and then ends up fouling someone and then gives away a free kick. Very Asensio, unfortunately. It just didn't quite happen for him, but Vinicius nearly just broke the lid off this.
Well, it'll be very exciting.
Valverde nearly just broke in as well. Oh, look at that.
Do you know what
Those
cliche
feet.
about next goal is huge?
Yeah,
There's
it really
more,
is.
never
Oh,
been
yeah.
more
Also,
truth
that
in
was
this man
definitely
right
a foul.
Yeah, that was a foul.
Has he given it on? Or is he just...
I think he was doing, it's like a half advantage.
I love a functional fullback skill. Where they just turn around and that's the skill.
What,
Just literally, then, you just
that from Carlos.
They
just
take a
ran-
really
you just ran
slow-
backwards, yeah. It's like when centre backs do step overs. It's one of the greatest things in football. I think Ferdinand did it a few times where he tried to do the whole. Didn't work. It was adorable.
Fulham signed
quick, get
Tosin
Stephen a ball.
Adebayo off City, and he loves a step over. loves a step over as he charges out defence.
I missed it. Who did I say?
Tosin Adarabioyo.
Oh, he does. He
Fulham bought
does.
Off City.
A good player, Tosin.
He really did.
My friend runs his social media.
Yeah, he really did. He really does love a little step out. His social media is excellent, so he can tell your friend he's doing a very, very good job.
He is. Well done, Ollie, if you're watching that, mate.
Yeah, Tosin's social media is excellent. He does an album cover before every game.
Yeah, that's
It's
definitely
really good stuff. I mean, I enjoy it a lot. So there you go. There's one for you to look at when you're on
He always
Twitter.
DMs me comps to get him to retweet him and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or if you're on Twitter, get involved using hashtag LiveScore Watch Along. There you go. Double whammy. King of segues. Sam of PSG turned the tap off a little bit. Feels like they've started to release this pressure. It's won a couple of good free kicks.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, Neymar's just been flawed. Pretty standard stuff. But yeah, it's only been about a minute since.
I thought you meant flawed as in FLAWED.
No.
That's a bit rude.
No, he's been flawed by 𝗟𝗏.
Is he the most talented flawed player in the game?
No, flawed.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm opening up to different points entirely.
Ask that question to Jack. I'm too busy watching
This is a different game. This is a different discussion for a different game. So
yes, never mind. But Real Madrid are back on the ball again. Probing again. Look, PSG aren't particularly they're not pressing and they're not really trying to take him off in high areas here. Again, they're very comfortable in a scenario where Real Madrid have a fair bit of the ball here because they have 2 goals and they have Mbappé standing on the halfway line and it's Neymar and Messi passing in the ball. I mean, what a delightful scenario to be in. So Real Madrid have got to play this really carefully, and they are exerting some pressure. They've just picked up a corner, and they just very nearly got through when Asensio left the ball behind. But
McAtee's just attempted a backheel flick to Jesus, very unlucky for 1-2. That's kind of what I say.
Oh, good defending.
That's some good committed defending.
More good defending from Sporting. Fair play to Sporting. Their fan club from London who have travelled up will be very happy. Oh my goodness!
Oh God!
Gotta love a 30.
That was Valverde.
Also, Verratti has just headed an absolute strike and a half from Fede Valverde away. He's going to be in a lot of pain tomorrow morning.
Good Lord, that was amazing.
That's a headache.
A Toni Kroos corner floats it out for the old
Paredes, to be fair to him.
For the old volley.
He's floated it out so far.
He's hit that so sweetly as well.
It's like a 30-yard corner, and Valverde has caught it perfectly, and it's Paredes who is just
nodded it away.
To be fair to Paredes, done his job. I'd have ducked.
Yes, I would have ducked.
I'd have ducked.
Get paid the same way over it. Tongue tied.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Sorry, it was too high. It was too high for me. Yeah. You ducked. Nah, it was above my head.
There's the wind.
In the wind. Also, he's caught that so sweet.
It was amazing. Yeah, what a strike.
You wonder where it's going,
that is I bet he has never struck a ball sweeter than that.
Yeah, he's really annoyed about it.
And it was not
ends
even
in a header.
Yeah.
Oh,
Paredes.
He just goes out for a throw in halfway up the pitch.
Yeah. Leandro Paredes, enemy of football, along with Stephen.
Yeah, you're off the hook. There's a new enemy of football going on.
The enemy of football.
Yeah.
21 goals for Mahrez this season. It's impressive, isn't it?
It's an incredible return.
Yes,
he's
also
1 goal away from becoming City's top ever Champions League goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken. In one season, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Messi has just run 40 yards with this ball.
You've got to see that's
Verratti. Verratti's just given the ball away.
Well, that's something.
I thought that was against the rules.
One for the record books.
Stephen, have you checked the rules? Is that allowed?
It's not.
Hang on, look at this ball.
He's offside.
Neymar's put that through to Mbappé. He's not off, is he?
That's
it's
beautiful
in.
finish.
It's in. There's a flag. Yeah. Ruined it.
Lovely take though, wasn't it?
That was all amazing. Look at that. Hakimi jumps in, dispossessed,
he's off.
and Neymar slots the ball in behind defence.
He's well off.
To be fair,
it's a beautiful finish.
Defence steps up and does its job.
I mean, I'm sorry.
It should be allowed to.
It should be allowed. Yeah. The little
Vinicius
straight down the other end. Vinicius. Oh,
you're right. He's going doing the dribble and shot thing.
I think Vinicius just dribbled past 3 there, and that's why he didn't score.
Yeah.
Fernandinho's picked the ball up on the edge. He's going for it.
I think he must have beat 3 when we weren't looking.
Part of the rules.
So this is end to end again.
Yeah, I mean,
off we go.
So is this.
I know, chances are both ending.
That's about a shot on goal.
Moment there with the whole deflected breakaway shot.
Yeah, it started to open up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of chaos ball. It's all very exciting. It's been chaos ball since minute 1 in Madrid. But Only a little bit of chaos ball in Manchester. David Alaba storming forward.
He's still got it. How's he still got that?
Oh, lucky.
Right, Donnarumma claims. Right, now Alaba's way out of position. Quick, Mbappé.
Yeah, it really is starting to open up.
Yeah.
Really starting to break.
Oh, you see that there? Mbappé
Maybe
trying
I
to make
thought
that
about
run.
it. Oh,
lovely. Oh, and Mbappe's been floored. The other one. They're going to pop it out. Nah, he's okay.
Oh, Jesus.
They've done this a couple of times now. They get into a really good spot and then they sort of just pump the brakes a little bit just because they don't need to score.
Yeah,
and it's
I mean, also, you don't want to open up to this lot because
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, only Neymar and Mbappe have provided more than 20 assists in the Champions League since 16-17. Which is
That's impressive.
That's quite, yeah. There
which
you go.
is a pretty. Also, it's the one thing you don't want going against you when you are,
Chasing
you're chasing a game. You're like, oh, this could open up. These
Yep.
lads are.
Mbappe
pace
is through.
there
He's
is
through.
ridiculous.
Mbappe's through.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what a block!
Whoa.
That's great defending, but
What
that
a
pace
block.
through the middle. There's another goal in this for PSG. It feels like that way for me.
I mean, they were Real Madrid are
Also,
right on the edge
The
here.
second block was really.
That was Alaba.
The Sporting fans are doing
The
the
Poznan,
Poznan.
which is
Do
interesting.
City fans do this at the weekend?
Yeah, the whole stadium did it.
Yeah.
Was it? Is that just? Oh,
It's learned a few years back.
no, I remember it. I remember it being a City thing
Yeah.
because weirdly, I remember Fulham scoring against City at the Cottage and everyone being like, "Hey, this is funny," and so I remember it being a City thing back then.
It has gone away for a while.
It went away, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it did,
But
yeah.
Does it? Is this was that a first time, or is that the first? Is that
It's
is
not-
it come back recently?
No, I've not seen it for a while. To be honest, I think the derby just felt like it was a good chance to rub it in their faces a little bit.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Which
agreed.
is, it's a good chance to bring it back, isn't it? When you're going through all the hits, so to speak, in the stands. But yeah, I've not seen it for a while, which is why I think probably it found its way to social media because it'd been at least a year or so.
I was just watching it on
yeah, also
TV
as
and
well,
it just turned to the crowd and I was like, hang on, they did a Poznan.
Yeah,
I was like, I haven't seen that in a while.
yeah, it's the
That's
best
fun.
of collection from the stands.
Oh yeah, to be fair, when you start to
You
get out the
follow-
old
yeah,
songbooks,
you
that's
find
always very
everything, don't you?
exciting.
That was an interesting attempt.
I don't think he was trying to shoot.
And no, he's just passed it straight to Edison.
It's not what he wanted. So Camavinga's on, Sam.
Camavinga's on for Kroos, and Rodrigo has come on for Asensio. 57 minutes, so needs must, isn't it? You can't even wait to the standard 60.
Valverde,
No.
is that Valverde to the base then, or Camavinga at the base?
We shall see. I think that Valverde has been a really positive presence as the right-sided central midfielder. So
Kylian Mbappe has got blood on his face.
So that shot that he just took and he got blocked by Alaba and they kind of wrestled each other to the ground and he just buffs his face straight into the turf, like face
He's
down.
put himself on grass.
Well, I think it's
an-
inside his
it's
face.
an- I think it's an
a little bit
impact.
of it in the blood
I
in
don't
the
know if
mouth.
it's yeah.
No, not ideal.
Yeah,
That must have been a solid whack then. Once
Yeah.
again on mud.
yeah.
On this kind of carpet,
Yeah.
So Real Madrid
Spongy.
have made two of their moves. Camavinga in, and well, it looks like he's playing at the base, but we'll have to see in a second.
well, they needed to throw the dice, didn't they? So
Well, they've got to do, yeah,
you've
absolutely.
got to do something, even if it is just
Rodrigo
add some energy. Rodrigo will add a little bit of dynamism in there.
Rodrigo for
He's
Asensio,
more unpredictable than Asensio is.
He's just better.
What?
I mean, he's better as well. Like,
He's got less end product.
well, it depends if you're talking 30 yarders or you're talking. It's. I think with Asensio, you just never quite know, and he just hasn't been great tonight.
No, he hasn't. You're right.
Rodrigo, I mean, we'll see. I mean, he's left-footed coming in off that right flank, same as Asensio. So they haven't changed the system in any way. They're just refreshing the personnel and asking Rodrigo, "Can you go and do what Asensio?"
And Camavinga is
hasn't
sitting at the
quite-
base and dictating.
Yeah, well, yes, he'll just.
For now.
I mean, less maybe dictate and more like, "Can you help us with these counter-attacks, mate?" Because we're sort of being played.
Yeah, but
through
he'll
here.
stroke the ball around nicely there as
I
well.
mean, he's perfectly capable of it, yeah, no problems. But it makes all the sense in the world to bring Rodrigo on and refreshing the midfield, I guess. Yeah, okay, we'll see how it works. They haven't got more attacking or anything like that. They haven't changed the system. They haven't pushed more players forward. They've just looked to another couple of people to see if they could break the lock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you can throw more players forward at this
No,
point. There's
absolutely.
There's too much danger on the counter.
Yeah, I can see.
You might be able to do that with 10 minutes to go, but not
Yeah.
not now.
To PSG breaking again here. Mbappé.
Oh,
hello.
That was almost a City special.
That's definitely a yellow card for 𝗟𝗏. Mbappé has just carried the ball out deep from his own half pressure, got to the point where he can size up 𝗟𝗏 and done one of those Gareth Bale touches where he knocks it like 20 yards and then tries to run on the outside of the pitch in order to get round 𝗟𝗏. And he just smashes straight through him. So, yellow card for 𝗟𝗏.
To be fair, they're well versed in that concept of the Gareth Bale run.
Oh, he did it all the time. Yeah,
Madrid,
fantastic.
So, there is that element.
Danny 𝗟𝗏 has become the who was it? Was it Mark Bartra?
It was Mark Bartra.
He has become Mark Bartra.
I wish Mark Bartra had taken out Bale. We wouldn't have to watch it so much.
Yeah.
To watch it a lot. That exact move.
That goal.
Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? But Mark Bartra now plays for Betis, and every time someone mentions him, he's like, "Is that the guy that got done?" Yep, that guy. Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Mark. He actually a very good footballer in his own
right.
lovely
footballer,
just defined by this one thing.
Also, his career at Barcelona very much defined by that, and I think that's must be quite upsetting for someone.
Bale can be at 21, can't he?
Oh yeah, 100%. But it just happened to be Mark Bartra.
Yeah.
He went. In fact, he didn't like it so much. He left for Dortmund. He literally, he was like, "Nope."
That moment.
I think I might be done. It wasn't very long after. I'll give you that for free.
Donnarumma! Oh my God! What are you doing?
What is going on?
What are you doing? If this goes in, oh my God! That is horrendous!
Oh, the cat is a Mr. Picasso.
Oh
my God! It really is.
Right, Real Madrid are back in it. Real Madrid have scored.
One-all.
It's Benzema, and it is all Donnarumma's fault. It is all Donnarumma's fault. Receives the ball back from Kimpembe, just passes it back pretty hard.
Oh, he's under no pressure, right?
Donnarumma's under very little pressure, hangs onto it.
What's he
Benzema
doing?
puts it, and then he passes the ball across his own goal line, basically.
Vinicius
picks it up, and Benzema slots home.
Just put it out for a corner, anything.
Right,
Is there a foul in there?
I don't know. So.
I don't think
in the first half, Donnarumma went to clear a ball, and instead of just booting it back up the pitch, he just passed it out for a Real Madrid throw-in, level with the box. That's not the first time he's got the ball and just completely and utterly.
So Donnarumma has one weakness, and it's his distribution. He's just not very good at it. He's great at absolutely everything.
Look at the Real Madrid players. It's all very let's get this crowd going.
Yeah, that's the kind of moment that tie can just be lost on. Like,
there's
a momentum shift now.
There they go. Real Madrid win it
We've
back
got a tie,
straight
haven't
away.
we? We've got a tie in our hands now.
It's 1-1. No more goals, please.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
What do we win?
It's
respect, internet respect.
Respect on the web.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kudos.
Each other's respect.
I don't think this is. I don't think this is going to end 4-0. I'll be honest.
We got 2-0, which is possible.
2-0 still okay.
Oh,
I
Donnarumma.
think the 2-2 might be on here.
Yeah, it could be.
That was tragic.
We have a tie in our hands, though, don't we? We really do.
I'm pretty stunned by that. That was unbelievably bad.
Needless as well.
Yeah,
really needless. Just put it out for a corner, anything. Just not pass it across your own goal.
It was also really out of nothing. Like, as in, Real Madrid have been okay and they've probed and pressed, but it's not really created anything massively clear cut.
Not really. Not really.
And PSG are doing the old we're losing our heads thing.
I mean, look, Real Madrid, 5 minutes ago...
we're losing our heads.
Yes. Yeah.
5 minutes ago, Real Madrid made 2 substitutions to try and change the course of the game. It's nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Donnarumma has single-handedly changed the course of this game in this second half.
Why has he been booked?
I don't know. Probably
complaining.
For being terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, what...
Referee's just a fan of football.
The goalie doth protest too much. Something like that.
Oh! I thought that was in then. Benzema.
Benzema has just nodded one just wide of the post as well. Who was that with the cross? Rodrigo. Rodrigo whips it in. And he's beaten Marquinhos in the air.
I think, for all his faults, I think Donnarumma has his covered.
He might well do. But that is another... As he's getting closer and closer with those headers. And Marquinhos beaten again. Last, to be fair, he wasn't even marked. It was nowhere near him. Wasn't marking him. This is suddenly very, very interesting.
It's got very, very... PSG need to keep their cool here for a couple of minutes. Just really take the sting out of this.
Oh, gosh,
They're not good at that.
Stings are not good to be taken out.
Give it Neymar, Verratti and Messi for 3 minutes.
How much McAtee have we seen?
A few little touches, not much to be honest. I mean, he's fitted into the rhythm of the game, I'll give him that.
What rhythm?
A one-way rhythm. City dancing on their own, really. It's just, work it across from one side to the other, back across to the other side, and then Fernandinho gets the ball, plays a nice little pass out to Zinchenko. Stells is trying to make it interesting there, falling over. Lovely ball for Fernandinho.
Cross it in. Oh, it's in.
Damn it. Fernandinho, what a pass from Fernandinho. I mean, weirdly, Stones made it interesting. Like
he broke the line by forcing everyone to try and jump in.
Gave him a little bit of hope. Beautiful ball from Fernandinho, though. Jesus probably should go for goal there, actually. He's been selfless, but I do think he should go for goal.
Well, Vinny's shaping to shoot here. He's got the overload for Nacho. Nacho's in the box, crosses it in, and Hakimi's given away a corner. This is nervy. Nervy.
This is...
Oh, they turn into Lucas Vázquez, the man for the big moment. Will he come on for Carvalho, I assume?
I don't know, man.
I assume they're just going to have to chuck caution to win.
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you.
Seems a lot, though, to do this early with Mbappé still there.
I mean, I'd be...
Now, I suppose Carvalho's on a card,
he is on the card. He's on the card, and Mbappé is still that massive threat, so yeah, maybe it is that. Carvalho's just had a shot.
40 yards. I admire it.
He's not allowed to shoot. Nacho's playing dead. Now he's got back up now that he knows Real Madrid have the ball. Rodrigo's crossed another one in. It's another good one. Militao across the box. Vinicius! Oh my goodness.
Interesting take there, wasn't it?
Outside of the boot. Scissor
wide.
Whatever it was. I don't know what it was.
I like it, though.
I think the ref's given a foul in the end, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Militao pushes Nuno Mendes in the back and just unbalances him. Just seeing that goal again.
I still can't believe that happened. It's terrible.
Oh.
I mean, you could find on for that and you wouldn't complain.
It's just really, really poor.
And well done, Vinny, for having that presence of mind.
Yeah, it really is, because it would have been easy to panic.
It's a terrible angle for a shot, and he appreciates that.
He's been the best
Pops
player,
it straight back into Benzema. He's been Madrid's best player, 100%. Marquinhos has just completely muffed a clearance. This is going very badly for PSG right now.
They're losing the heads.
They are right on the edge, and Vázquez did indeed come on for Carvalho. So 66 minutes, they switched up the right back.
So the question is, how quickly can you get the ball to Neymar / Mbappé on that flank? Lucas Vázquez makes a brilliant tackle on Neymar. There you go.
Such a sense of
defensive, sensible.
Brilliant.
Yeah. They've been here before, haven't they? PSG.
They have indeed. They're creaking at the moment. Wind in the sails of Real Madrid, all from that one moment. Just that one moment.
Second of madness.
They're in PSG's box again just a second ago.
Even defensively, their structure at PSG, it's erratic, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is now an onslaught.
It is.
This is an onslaught. Kimpembe's just made a clearance on this 6-yard line.
I mean, you look around
Modric picks up the ball and they're going to keep coming. This is an onslaught.
It's a long way from those couple of minutes at the end of the first half with the little rondos going on.
It was happening against City, that as well. It really was.
But to be fair, like the one against City, it didn't feel like they were trying to see out the half. This did feel like they were just trying to get to the end of the half. But
that was fair enough.
It's a state of mind as well as much as anything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And as Steven said, next goal is an absolute key in this game, and it very much it has changed the entire complexion of it.
Sporting are having a little
Benzema's limping.
Yeah, he got. I think someone stood in his foot.
He did. That's Paredes, who is on a card.
Yeah, I think
it's not a yellow card. It's a bit innocuous, but it's one of those. Okay, Verratti trying to calm things down. It's just won an important foul. Leave it to Verratti in the eye of the maelstrom to just hang on to the ball for like 8 seconds under the pressure of 3.
Yeah, and just
everybody else is panicking, and Verratti's just like.
Verratti has a panic in him as well, but it's just not on the ball. Actually, the way you calm Marco Verratti down is just giving him the ball in a really stressful situation. If he's not got the ball, he's probably trying to fight someone.
He's freaking out. He's got too much space. Like, I need people around me.
Yeah. But PSG are on the ball now.
I found out this week that his nickname is 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗏, which means the little owl.
I knew
because of the
that.
way that he shifts his head
scans.
the ball.
Scans.
I thought that was excellent. It really made me laugh.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if, therefore, if you had more than one Marco Verratti, would there be a parliament of Verrattis?
Wow.
Was that the collective noun for
an owl?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is for pandas? I found out the other day.
No.
An embarrassment of pandas.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
That's fantastic.
Every day's a school day here on the live.
It's, collective nouns, FC.
Yeah, exactly.
Only ranks.
That's Sam. That's a ranking for Ranks FC. Put it. Stick that in the notebook.
Stick that straight on the podcast.
The best 3 collective nouns. Ranked.
Yeah. We will do that.
That's a YouTube show waiting to happen.
Brilliant.
We'll get you in as a special guest. We'll get you in as a special guest.
Murder of crows.
No one's ever done a special guest gibberish ranking on our podcast.
This is my specialty subject.
But we may need to make history. Anyway, back to this really important Champions League game, which is definitely brilliantly entertaining. PSG have been on the ball for 2 minutes.
That's fine.
They have officially calmed things down. Verratti, Messi,
Is
Neymar.
that the time limit, do you reckon, 2 minutes? That's when you can, how long you need to be on the ball after
Officially,
the storm? 2 minutes?
officially 2 minutes, yeah.
Well,
I
they've
mean,
done all right.
it's interesting because look, the way that PSG is setting up, they're still massively going down the left,
I've
right?
never seen a
And
flank attack map
Yep.
before.
So, but when you take that into account, the fact that Lucas
Pen,
Vazquez.
ref. Yeah, carry
Lucas
on.
Vazquez has just come on, and he is not the most defensively sound player in the world.
No.
He's got better, and I give credit where it's due.
But he's not a right back, so-
He's not a right back, or at
Yeah.
least wasn't a right. He might be now. He wasn't a right back for years.
Yeah.
And therefore, you do worry about that,
Well,
considering.
I mean, it doesn't matter who's playing there. It could be the best.
good
Could be the
counter-attack.
best.
Pulling her in.
Could be the best defensive right back in the world.
Ooh.
Playing over there. And Mbappé is on that flank. That's where it's going.
Tears.
And that's where Neymar's drifting over to right now. That's where the combinations are happening. Verratti's on the left side of the midfield three. It's just going to come down that side. Doesn't matter who's there.
Change for PSG.
Yeah,
So it's the end of Leandro Paredes.
Paredes, who has been booked and now and stood on Benzema's foot,
Yeah,
is
I
now
think that's a self-preservation tactic.
is now
unfortunately,
stepping off the field for Idrissa Gueye. 70 minutes,
Slowly, sensibly.
very slowly.
Scott Carson's coming on.
Getting a run out of the
Scott
Champions
Carson,
League.
Clarkson. I could sit here and guess many outcomes of this game. That would not be one of them. That's interesting. He's loved at Man City, you know. Genuinely loved.
That's a cult hero.
Because he's Scott
Yeah.
Carson. Genuinely like an old Midlands bloke hanging around with, you know, Edison and De Bruyne. Apparently loving because he's like a bit of a dad of the group. Scott Carson's playing
How
in
long has he
Champions
been there
League.
now?
About 2 years now, I think. Yeah.
He played a league game last year, didn't he?
He came on, and conceded 4 goals, I think. None of them were his fault. I beat us when Newcastle beat us 4-3, I think. Was it 3-0? I can't remember.
Didn't know.
But either way,
didn't know Man City were capable of conceding 3 goals.
They haven't done it
we
for
have those
ages.
moments. We do have those days.
Yeah,
They're rare though.
very
Yeah.
true. Once every sort of 5 years.
In a blue moon, you could say.
PSG corner. If they
PSG
do,
corner, yeah.
where the blue moon,
Scott
very
Carson's
good.
on.
Really enjoyed myself.
Short
Um,
corner, Neymar to
Yeah, well, I
Messi,
think that's the right.
back to Neymar.
Take the sting out of it, right? Don't go whacking that into the box and losing the ball. Keep it.
True, but all the big lads are up. They'll be disappointed. You know how they get.
They won't be that disappointed if they win.
Great to progress, Marquinhos.
Yeah, but
they took
really
that
what-
short corner.
Scott Carson's about to have some work. No.
Ooh. That's
They've had
Pedro.
some
That's
decent
Pedro Porro. He fancied it. He saw
Yeah,
his
he did,
name up
didn't he?
in lights at the Etihad after all
Oh.
these years.
No Pedro.
It's actually
Oh,
very
PP.
good play.
PSG still on the ball. This is now. I'm upgrading this to 4 minutes. This has been 4 minutes of PSG passing the
Storm
ball.
officially weathered then.
Oh, Mbappe's giving it away, unweathered.
No, weathered, yeah.
That's a foul, and then Benzema's driving towards goal here. Ooh.
Oh, it's
Oh!
from Davini.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Would that have counted? Was
I have no idea.
I think so.
I think it might have.
I mean,
Come off
that
PSG
came
player,
straight
so-
off. I think it was Gueye, wasn't it? 27 is Idrissa Gueye.
It is
so
indeed.
That's a
it came
Wonderful
straight
chance.
straight off Idrissa Gueye, and the ball.
Cannons off him.
yeah, he's
as well.
onside.
Very
That's
strange.
a massive chance for Vinicius.
Oh
Oh.
man, and Vinny left foot, slightly off balance. Ball sits up a little bit.
There's very little conviction in that
Get
one.
your knee on my. They've done it again.
They've done it again. Vinicius outside the box finds Benzema. Oh, lovely
Nice
back
back
heel
heel.
into Vinicius, who chips it in. And how have they still got this ball? Okay,
And Danilo
It's,
Pereira does what Danilo
and he's
Pereira does and calms everything
put the
down,
fire
doesn't
out.
it? Yeah, he loves putting out fires.
man, that is
Bad.
really bad. Kimpembe just kind of gets jockeyed as he tries to clear the ball in the box and just falls over.
I do admire the urgency of Madrid when they go forward, to be fair to him. Yeah, you know.
But also, like, this has all come from. That came from a goal kick.
Yep. I mean, they are. This is a nonsense, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, PSG aren't on alert here at all.
It is strange to think that away goals don't matter anymore, because this game would still be very much in PSG's hands if this was last year, right?
Yeah.
Madrid would still need 2. There's 17 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
Oh, Scott Carson's made a big save.
What a guy.
What a guy. Through on goal. He's just smothered it really well, to be fair. Off his line really quickly.
Oh, the old Modric-Messi battle reimagined. What a day.
Yeah, Modric is loving this battle. Like every time he gets the opportunity to go in on Messi, he's going in about 10% harder than he probably should. Still within the rules, you know. Still, it's nothing nefarious.
There was that LM10 thing for a while, wasn't there?
But
In
he
the
was
World
loving.
Cup.
Modric
was
is
just
loving
scoring,
this
to be honest.
battle. He really
But that's
is.
way too easy for Paulinho to score.
Yeah,
That's not a 30
Yeah,
yard
he should
thunderbolt.
score. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good save from Carson, to be fair, but They've hurt each other in the process as well.
Unfortunately, that's not a 30-yard thunderbolt. So there's absolutely no way that Paulinho, or like a dink from the edge of the box at a ridiculous angle. So therefore, he was never going to score it.
I think Carson's injured because he's old. I'm pretty certain.
So he did the splits more or less there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I think
Ederson's even laughing. Grealish is laughing.
The man is about 40, and I mean, I can't imagine a 40-year-old is that good at the splits.
PSG have just cannoned 3 clearances directly into opposition players. 3 in a row.
A young City lad, I think, is that Slicker? Or was it James Trafford?
I mean, City are
Slicker.
going to sub the sub-keeper.
City Slicker.
As if Carson's come on and got injured because he's old.
Well, he made a great save.
He might be all right.
Oh, he's okay.
It'd be upsetting for the young lads on the bench. I mean, obviously it's a bit upsetting, in general, but
he's probably half.
If you had to save two of your substitutions on goalkeepers, you're a bit like, oh, I thought I was going to get on tonight, but actually,
unless you're that young lad, I guess, yeah.
But Scott Carson came on and got injured in 2 minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was.
You're fuming if you're the
Still,
lad.
isn't this the sort of thing that will further solidify his status as a cult hero?
Oh yeah, massively.
Comes on, makes a big save, does the splits, comes off.
That would be an immense appearance in the Champions League.
Yeah.
PSG just
giving it away again.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they the last couple of minutes, like as you said,
that's brilliant.
Modric has just carried it through. Vinicius has a chance to shoot here. Oh, he's checked back in his right side.
Yeah,
he's delayed. He didn't
trust his left foot, did
PSG players back. That was a left foot shot. Oh, Modric has found a beautiful ball.
He scored!
Benzema again.
Is he off? I don't think he is.
I think he's all right.
Oh, what a game!
And that is a piece of genius from Luka Modric.
2 of them.
It's 2
unbelievably good.
Of genius.
First one to release Vinicius
from Luka Modric.
Second one to find Benzema.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Make sure this is
deserved with the way this game has been going.
Yeah.
That's why you have the quality, isn't it? He may be getting a bit Modric now, but that's just magic.
Yeah,
we are currently
Modric intercepts Neymar's pass, probably about 25 yards out from his own goal. He carries it another 30, 40 yards, shadowed by 2, flicks it through and plays Vinicius in for what should have been a shot on goal. There's too much dallying and delaying. You think the chance is gone. Vinicius even gives Modric a terrible pass, and then
he's onside as well.
He finds this little ball, as he often does, into the path of Benzema. And Marquinhos can't block it. Look at that, it's through Kimpembe's legs. That is masterful. The finish, to be fair, is a bit rubbish. He scuffs it, it hits Marquinhos on the shin, and then I think it even taps Donnarumma's fingers as it goes through as well. But doesn't matter.
He's definitely not offside,
doesn't matter though.
He's
not offside, they all count. It is 2-2 on aggregate.
Smells like blood here, doesn't it? It really does.
This is
incredible. We could be off to extra time.
This is incredible.
Our prediction's been ruined.
That's
really
anything that matters.
Yeah.
Mine hasn't.
And that is what Pochettino will be thinking about on the sideline right now. Sam and Stephen's predictions.
Yeah, he's gutted.
What do you do here if you're Poch?
Call timeout.
It is probably time for a timeout.
Hang on, Vinicius straight through again.
Football! Football's good. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, this is an almighty...
They've done it again, PSG. They've absolutely bottled it.
This is an almighty collapse. Basically, from kick-off, PSG lose it.
Oh, unbelievable.
Vinicius is going through. It looks like, again, he can't quite shoot properly.
That man, Benzema again.
This finish from Benzema is absolutely ridiculous. This is... If the last one is scuffed and a little bit lucky, this is gorgeous.
Right, let's look at it from kick-off. PSG have the ball, 2, 3...
Oh, they're giving it away straight away.
I think 4 seconds. They lose it. In the centre circle, they lose it.
Vinicius loses it.
Vinicius loses it to Marquinhos, who just flicks it. That is glorious. Marquinhos, rather than clear it properly, he might be a bit tired, but he sort of just flicks it.
To be honest, he's not got much there.
I'm putting that out for a corner.
Increases the pressure down. It is great.
What
a glorious
finish. What a finish. Outside of the boot,
ridiculous.
Benzema.
This is a cracking game of football, genuinely.
How do you conjure that? No keeper saves that. That is perfect.
He was still centering his goal perfectly from kickoff.
Alaba's in the background, he's got a chair. Alaba's... Oh, wow.
Alaba with a chair.
Why is Alaba got a chair?
He just picked up a chair
It's
from
gone
the
pure
sideline.
WWE. He's
Oh,
gonna smash
I thought
someone.
you meant like from the stands. I was like, I thought he
it's-
pulled a chair out of the stand.
It's one of like the photographer seats or something
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
that's
No, but it's
far
like,
more
it's like a
acceptable.
piece of garden furniture.
Yeah, that's far more acceptable. I thought you meant he'd pull the seat out of the stadium.
That'd be a bit much.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be weird.
Correct.
And I thought Mars was going to score then. Yeah, this game's on as well.
This is
Well, here we are. We have 11 minutes in stoppage time, and PSG
What's a game of football?
have got to find a goal to take this into extra time.
They ain't going to do it. Plot spoiler.
It feels unlikely given the way this game has gone, but you never know what happens
Yeah.
mentally. I mean, this is Real Madrid. We're talking about the European monster, but now that
Kings of Europe.
now that they've climbed this mountain and they've got their 3 goals and they are ahead on aggregate,
Go on, Riyadh.
you never know what happens with the mentality there. Do you turn and you sort of protect it a little bit? And surely Messi and Neymar and Mbappé have got something to say about this.
Yeah. They
Arguably
you
the 3
assume
best
so.
players
This is
in
why
the
they've
world.
invested in these players, you know, for nights like this. They have to step up right now.
Are PSG in danger of this becoming?
Their thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean they've had a couple of classic Champions League meltdowns.
It's not a good thing to
I don't know.
praise
I
for,
don't
is
know
it?
if in danger of it happening is the right word.
It just
I
is,
think
isn't it?
they're famous for this already, and this is another episode, another chapter as it stands. It's just, it's unbelievable that it keeps happening, and in these circumstances as well, all in one half.
But things like this have been curses before, right? Like, think about Leeds United when they were trying to get out of the Championship and they had like 3 seasons where they bottled getting automatic promotion, and then eventually it came. Like, it did eventually happen.
Look, this is the guy I was telling you who's obsessed with Vincent Kompany's coming on. Luke Mbappé's coming from Man City, a really, really good young centre-back. But back to PSG, I'm not trying to be lazy here, I promise you I'm not. But I mean it sincerely. Once again, they've lost two games away from home recently, and it's not affected them at all domestically. I mean, is it because of their league? You know, is it because they are just, it's too easy for them? Because you have to be challenged constantly, don't you, to play these kind of games?
That's like one of those. That's become one of those age-old questions now. Hasn't
yeah,
it? Like,
but I don't mean it disrespectfully.
But Bayern have won 10 Bundesligas in a row, and it doesn't appear to have affected them.
Is there more jeopardy for them than PSG?
And PSG lost the league last year.
Yeah, it's true. Well, there we go. Maybe it's not fair.
But I don't know. But I mean, I don't know if it doesn't.
Maybe it's the sort of players they have then, maybe a little bit or something like that. I don't know.
I do think there's an element with, and also you look at the Galactico Real Madrid teams, right? The ones right towards the end, where it became like a how many stars can we collect?
Yes.
Those teams weren't the ones that won.
No, they weren't
the
pieces,
team
were
that
they?
won the Champions League for Real Madrid in that kind of era was Zidane was the last piece of that Galacticos team, right? Who played in that final. After that, when Florentino Perez came in and really kind of pushed forward with all of it.
Yeah.
They didn't win the Champions League again for a number of years until they'd kind of abandoned that.
The team that won it in the end, was it 2014?
Yeah.
So they had Angel Di Maria at centre mid in like a really workman-like role with Casemiro involved as well, I believe. Actually, it might have been the Xabi Alonso era? Either way, it was a very street-smart team and a very hard-working team. It wasn't the Galactico fueled era.
This is what I mean.
They had an
So
amazing
is there
forward
something
line.
to be
but-
said here?
I mean, they were very well balanced. Ultimately, it's a very good line. It was
Is
a very
there
good
something
team.
to be said here? That
Well,
that PSG, are they suffering the same problem? In that what they're trying to achieve is just by I'll just stick all the best players in the world in a team and it'll probably work. When that's not how you build a football team.
Well, it's definitely not how you build it in 2022. All of the best teams over the last couple of years
They'll
have been
press from the front as well,
have been underlined by tremendous work rate, tremendous pressing. Like the Bayern Munich team that won the Champions League a couple of years ago was absolutely amazing in its level of quality, but it also pressed like no one else. It was monstrous. It was amazing. And Chelsea, I think you could probably say similar things about last year.
Yeah,
and the
I
team
agree.
they beat in the final. Sorry, Stephen. You can say the same thing about that too.
Yeah,
They
fair
are
enough.
built very similarly. PSG are miles away from that. They're a completely different build of team. Now, it's not necessarily that only one build of team can work, but PSG have had a really ropey season. Like, we're never impressed when we watch them.
Yeah.
The first leg against
Was
Real
the first
Madrid
time we've been
was the first
impressed.
time all season I was like,
If they lose
You're a
this,
team.
is it curtains for Pochettino? Is that it?
I mean, he probably.
I would imagine
Probably
so.
curtains full stop.
I would imagine so. I don't think any manager, like right or wrong, and there is a fair debate over whether it's right or wrong to say, I don't know if anyone can survive not winning the Champions League with this cast of players. Whether that's fair or not,
I mean,
don't
even
know.
going out at this
but
stage at the very least.
There is going to be a fall guy.
There is a problem there in that going out at this stage at this point for PSG is a bit unfair because they've
Madrid.
drawn Real Madrid.
Yes.
But
the context matters and how they played so far. I mean,
the bottle, I think, matters.
Yeah.
The fact that they had the opportunities to seal this, the fact that they've shot themselves in the foot here, all of that's massively important.
Ask yourself the question, did anything change? Ultimately, no.
No.
And that's the problem. But hey, we've got 6 minutes left.
That is true, but Vinicius is in.
And
They are
they've
not,
spent
they
that
are
money
not
on
out of
those
the Champions League just yet.
To win the
beat
Champions
Madrid,
League. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so they'll say, yeah, you know, it's
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is.
It's
Oh, that was a terrible pass for
This is gonna be-
𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗏. Oh my God.
It's just chaos at the back.
Idrissa Gueye just laid one off to 𝗟𝗃𝗏, and it's so under hit, and it's allowed a Real Madrid player to steal in and nick it, and then it's ended up in a desperate clearance from Marquinhos, and Madrid are back on the attack again. Vinicius has the ball, and now it's Rodrigo outside the box.
And
that's a
it's a
foul.
free kick, yeah.
That's a free kick, like 18.5 yards from goal. That is so close to the penalty box. This is really.
This could be fun, couldn't it?
I mean, it's one of those where you're like, maybe it's too close. Like, as you kind of hear, like, can you get it up and down? But
who takes it?
this is just desperate.
Modric.
Who's
Benzema might voice that.
I think Rodrigo might want this.
He might
I've
want it,
got a
yeah.
funny
I mean, he
feeling
won it.
Might just
He
be
certainly
like,
won it.
Thanks very much, Chief. I want this one. City have a free kick too.
They do indeed, yeah.
We're very exciting over here.
There are about 7 players stood over this free kick, Jack. So we'll see as they filter away.
Benzema's left. Oh, Alaba.
Oh, that's not a bad shot.
He takes a lovely free kick.
Morris just put it into the keeper's arms.
It doesn't matter.
Right, sideshow.
Who's spotting that?
I've got to make a video on this when I get home. You know what I mean? Not much to talk about, City fans.
Just talk about this game.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Start the video, be like, was great, drew 0-0 through. Thanks very much. By the way, did you watch Real Madrid PSG?
So Rodrigo sizing it up, and the ball has done its job, Rodrigo again, and kind of harmlessly wide. Never mind. You all right? Rodrigo fancied it. He won the free kick. I think he earned it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the way that Real Madrid have accelerated since that first goal is amazing. Look at the XG timeline, right? The way that they suddenly have just... PSG have nothing. They are flatline.
Yeah.
They are fully
flatline.
flatline.
Yeah. Look at Real Madrid since half time.
55th minute
since the 60, it's just like bang, off you go.
I mean, there is... Look, the thing is
self-inflicted again, momentum.
But also the other thing is that Real Madrid no longer have to press, have to push. You know, they don't have to...
I tell you what, they don't have to do any of that, but they are the team in the ascendancy still.
No.
They're still the team with all the ball, all the chances.
They're allowing their attacking players to do these things. They don't have to leave those gaps in behind to be exploited by, the pace of Mbappé or, these
Absolutely.
things. It's important.
It's mad how Donnarumma just puts that for a corner instead. All of a sudden, this probably doesn't happen.
Or throw in, or just kicks anything but
Football
what he did.
is absolutely insane that way, but beautiful at the same time.
Also, Karim Benzema has just overtaken Raul as a second all-time top goal scorer in the Champions League for Real Madrid.
Okay.
This is his shot map
Oh,
this
here we go.
season.
Another mistake.
And this is his top goal scoring season in the Champions League ever.
Oh, wow.
Better with age, fine wine,
Absolutely.
etc.
That is a healthy looking shot map right there.
It's a good area, isn't it?
Between the posts, between the 6-yard box, most of them in the box. The stars are the goals, obviously, and that's a good looking shot
healthy,
map.
isn't it?
That's really good, yeah.
It's pretty.
That man is being serviced very well.
It's like
by
Christmas tree,
midfielders.
isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
stars and bubbles everywhere.
Oh, hang on.
Mbappé just trying to break through there, asking for a foul. Does he get it?
Yes.
Yes, he's got it. It's about 40 yards from goal, so no need to get too excited. But Mbappe's fuming. 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗏 is going to go in the book for it.
Is he already booked?
No, not to my knowledge.
Oh, it's because it was Vasquez. That's why. I'm pretty sure that 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗏 is booked.
Yeah, Vasquez. Well done, Vasquez. They brought him on specifically to do that.
Yeah.
𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏 got it.
He's a little bit unlucky as well. He doesn't really do that much wrong.
Yeah.
He's just absolutely.
I can't believe they've given 3 minutes there. Oh, Julian Draxler's on for _𝗏𝗏.
Well, that'll solve everything. Don't clip that if it gets.
I
didn't say that. This is a great sub.
Draxler, that's 2016.
Draxler on for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
You can tell that Scott Carson is an old goalkeeper because he doesn't take goal kicks. he lets one of the other lads take it. He's like, there you go.
Well, the free kick amounted to nothing over here, and Vinicius is surging with the ball. He's just knocked it straight past. Is that Draxler? Draxler looks like he's played 120 minutes. He's just come on.
It is Vinicius though because he's incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Oh, footwork from Mahrez then. Ridiculous. But roll the free.
Madrid back in PSG's box here. That's a brilliant run.
Oh,
How's
wonderful.
that snuck through? Draxler there to make the difference and clear it.
The defence has just absolutely gone to pieces here.
Unfortunately, yeah. Oh, that was close. Modric, left foot, 20 yards, bends it, hits the stanchion, I think, there. That was close. How is it Real Madrid having more chances?
Fun, though, aren't they?
It's PSG that need the goal.
Oh, City should have scored. Not that it matters, but Stones has just missed a header from 4 yards out from a Gundogan corner. It's a really good chance, that.
A real shame.
It's a real shame.
Real
shame because I had him first goal scorer.
Did you? Yeah, he was close and he's let you down there, look. Unchallenged as well.
Right, Neymar on the turn, surging over halfway. He's got a
Di
man on the
Maria.
right. He's got
Di
Di Maria on the
Maria.
right. That's a foul. There's a few fouls in that.
Yeah.
There's a few fouls in that.
Four.
That's very subtle from Camavinga, and he's managed to avoid a
Is
booking
it in
as well.
Messi range?
This is
Anything's Messi range,
This
isn't
looks
it?
like 30 to
Wow.
35
Well,
yards.
reasonably.
You tell me what Messi range is, but this might be a bit far.
Can he release? Should he release?
Depends
I mean, he should have released before that point.
Yeah.
But I understand why he's trying to draw the centre backs forward towards the ball because it just gives Di Maria
Oh.
a bigger gap. Vinicius has got cramp, or so he says.
Why has Zidane
Why has he
decided to
punched that there? Yeah.
That's really quite bizarre.
Weird to be challenged by Jesus. He hasn't got cramp. He's absolutely lying.
Yeah,
Oh, I would be too. Absolutely on the deck. And there would be no getting up for 3 to 4
Oh,
minutes.
the worst cramp everyone's ever had ever.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't do it anymore. Roll me off. Get the stretcher off.
Pull him by his cramped leg.
Oh, that's it. That's done it.
Yeah.
Right, Messi sizing this up.
He
Obviously,
wants it.
Neymar's
This would be a moment.
Neymar
wouldn't
stood
it?
there as well.
Oh, this is Messi range.
This is Messi
This
range.
is perfect Messi range, I would
Messi
say.
has scored this free kick for Barcelona.
Like 20 times, hasn't he?
He's not going to score.
At least. He
Come on, Leo.
scored this free kick against Liverpool.
Onto the roof of the net.
Yeah, onto the roof.
Oh, Sterling should have scored.
What's Raheem doing? What?
I didn't think. I thought we'd have at least 2 minutes of build-up before that free kick. I'm not going to lie.
Right, but you're not even watching.
No, I wasn't watching it.
You weren't watching
I
along.
was watching Raheem Sterling get in behind and thought this is the moment.
And
He
he
does
does really well
beautifully.
there, yeah.
And then drags it.
Dragged it a lot wide.
Roof of the net. Thing is, it's one of those. It always looked too high, didn't it? You knew it wasn't.
Also,
dropping
and
back
Courtois
down.
had it well covered.
Yeah.
Full time in Manchester. Congratulations.
Thank you, way.
Into
It was
the
never.
quarters.
It was tense for a moment.
It was tense. Real
For
tense.
about 6 seconds when I was getting
When
out
Scott
of bed this
Carson
morning.
had to make that real big save from Paulinho, that
Changed
was
the game.
massive.
You know, that was the turning point at the time. Yeah, 0-0, whatever. Job done in the first game, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But this has been the game. 2.5 minutes left now.
Yep. 2.5 minutes left. Real Madrid have got a free kick, burning a bit of time. Marquinhos has sort of kicked Vinicius in the calf.
I actually think they might. Is it a free kick or are they just giving a drop ball? Real Madrid have done it again. That's amazing.
Wonderful game.
It has been a wonderful game of football.
Been amazing.
But they have such a history of doing it. I mean, I know we talked about the history of PSG falling apart, but there's a history of Real Madrid doing this time and time again, especially in Europe. They've come from massive ones, but this might not have been a massive scoreline, but it felt like a massive task.
Yeah. I mean, so Di
what
Maria
very
is.
lucky.
Oh, it's just
Football
trying
is
to
all
nod it
about
around.
momentum, isn't it? And if you get given a chance, like they did, Donnarumma gifted them a goal, you've got to take it. You've got to seize that.
You said at the times, Stephen, times have been lost on less.
They really have, and to fair Real Madrid, you need a bit of spark. You can get it from anywhere, can't you? But it came obviously from a mistake, but they've absolutely seized the momentum. And you cannot deny there's been an extra spring in this step, has there? They've been a lot more aggressive.
How many minutes between the goals? 10? All 3 goals? 10 minutes between them?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean the number 2 and 3 came within 1 minute of each other.
Yeah.
Like it
Kickoff,
was
wasn't it?
from the kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a difference between European pedigree and upstarts, relatively speaking?
Are they upstarts?
Well, they haven't won
there's a
any
relative
European
naivety to
silverware,
them
right?
still.
I mean they've got a bunch of Champions League winners in the team.
Yeah, but
Mbappé is just burning
It's a
down
culture,
the left
though,
side.
isn't it? It's a
Conversation.
culture.
Look, you know,
It is a culture.
I remember Giorgio Chiellini saying that thing about Tottenham after Juventus beat them, when he was just like, "Oh, we knew we'd score. It's the history of the Tottenham," and I was like, "It's a bit rude, but like equally,
It's true
like,
though, isn't it?
You're a bit like, well, do Real Madrid look at this PSG team and go, I think they'll collapse?
I mean, they're not wrong if they do. I mean, if we're sat there thinking it, surely they are. You know, that they'll understand what this
They
club
could, I
can
mean,
do
they
in
can
some
say that to
occasions.
anyone because they've beaten pretty
Yeah.
much everyone across
They can.
European competition
Yeah.
ever.
They can.
But
The problem is, the more it happens, the more it becomes a prophecy.
become
you know,
ingrained
like-
within you?
Yeah, it becomes who you are.
this is the thing. It became ingrained in Atletico Madrid. So they had a thing going, coming up as I think it's called 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪, which meant the cursed ones, because they...
What, sorry?
𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪. P-U-P-A-S.
𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪.
Poopers. Hang on. Well done. Well marshalled.
It took City a long time to get over their own, their own nerves in the competition.
But even when Atleti became successful under Cholo Simeone, the kind of move away from... They won Europa League, they won the league. There it is.
Over.
It's over.
We're done.
What a game of football.
It's
what
written
a night.
in Real Madrid's history.
Amazing.
A sensational game, that.
I mean, as much as it is obviously in PSG's recent history to do exactly this,
It's
in Real Madrid's
history full stop.
full stop to do exactly this.
Yeah.
So it's it's not all about PSG, and like we don't need to dig the knife in too much. Like, yes, they've dropped it. They were 2-0 up on aggregate. 3/4 of the way through this tie, they've messed up. They have.
Yeah, they've shot themselves in the foot, but it's also...
But Real
Madrid
Madrid have seized an opportunity to swing the momentum in this game and have done like...
Modric and Benzema as well.
The Real Madrid side also missing Ferland Mendy and Casemiro.
And Casemiro, yeah.
And they had players slot in.
Yeah, they've been
and do that.
That's brilliant. I mean, look, they were not the better side in the first half. So it's not even that they came into the second leg at the Bernabeu. Yes, they started well first 15 minutes, but PSG had 57% possession in the first half and had a goal disallowed and scored a goal.
Yeah, it should have been done and done.
Several opportunities. They were the stronger side. So Real Madrid really have turned this on from the... What was the time of the first goal? 61st minute.
Yeah,
it's
really
from
had a
that moment. They've had half an hour in this game, and they have made every minute of that count, and they have managed it masterfully.
All right, well, we'll come back to it, but let's look at both the games in review, and let's start in Manchester. It obviously was the undercard of the night.
Yeah.
It was done before it kicked off, and it felt like that. This was the XG timeline. City were the better side, but not by huge amounts, to be perfectly honest.
No, Sporting had a couple of moments. Probably, they would argue, maybe the cleanest chance of the night, really. Paulinho for own goal, Scott Carson saved well. Big up Scott Carson. But yeah, I mean, it's really weird to analyse a game like this generally because it doesn't ultimately matter, and the players know it as much as we do. Both sets of fans know it, the players know it, the coaches know it, and I guess there's an element of maybe just certain players trying to prove some points. None of them really did. Jesus had a pretty solid game, lively. It's archetypal Jesus, really. Bustling, lively, but ultimately a little bit wasteful in front of goal. And Sterling, very similar, which
Put
is
one
why
away nicely, happened to be offside.
Yeah, exactly, which is very, very unfortunate, actually. And Sterling as well, a couple of decent moments, nothing really happened. But I guess from my perspective now, I'm just happy no one got injured. As a City fan, we can focus on the next round. I really should see who we get. I probably don't want Madrid, given the belief that will carry from this game. But as a City fan, I've got to feel confident, really, whoever we face.
I think that's fair. Let's go over to Madrid and let's look at the XG timeline from that game because this is pretty remarkable.
Look at that game. That's a football game.
Look at that flat line.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing for PSG.
Nothing from the moment, pretty much, or even just before, but really from the moment that they concede that first, PSG just absolutely self-implode.
I mean, is that bottle? I mean, nothing for 35 minutes of a game.
Well, I mean, incredible amounts about the mentality, doesn't it?
We got to the state where 78th minute, the third Real Madrid goal goes in, and they're well on top. And that's where I sat here and said, right, PSG have got 12 minutes and whatever is extra time to basically save their own skin here and force extra time. Let's see what they've got.
Yeah.
No shots. Nothing. Nothing. Couldn't even get Mbappé on the ball properly. Neymar was okay. Messi was barely in it. Hakimi was really quite non-existent tonight. The centre-backs continued to panic. The midfield did not hold down the fort properly. And just in that period of the game where you think PSG are going to show what they're worth here and show that they've got 12 minutes to save their skins, and they will do. It was all Real Madrid.
But also Real Madrid was so dominant, and you can see this from their average position map, because look how far forward they are, look how on the front foot they are, look at that, the ability to drive on. And you'd imagine that with 12 minutes left, as you say, right, you drop in, you start to defend a lead, no chance.
No.
They kept going for the jugular, kept going for the throat.
Yep.
And I suppose that helps the fact that the away goals rule is gone. Because if you concede there and the away goal rule here is, you're out. But this would have only sent it to extra time and they would have felt they could have gone on and won it.
Yeah.
But 21 shots, it was just a really, really impressive performance, full stop.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the mentality of this team is unquestionable. And Karim Benzema's quality is unquestionable. Now, look, last season in the Champions League, Real Madrid were essentially outclassed when it got to the point where they were in the semi-finals. And you've got 4 teams left, and it so proved against Chelsea that they just weren't quite there. They weren't quite there, and mentality couldn't see them over the line then. That was a long time ago, because Vinicius Junior was nowhere near what he is right now. Benzema has only got better. This team have been a bit spotty in the league at points, but 𝗟𝗏 and 𝗪𝘁𝗏 and 𝗟𝗏 are an incredible defensive trio to anchor on the team. This is a scary prospect for teams now. After watching that, I have a newfound respect for Real Madrid. I don't know how that's possible because they are Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But they've done it again.
But also, also we looked at the first leg and we spoke about it. Stephen, you were here with me.
Yes.
And we talked about the fact that Real Madrid didn't bother going for it. It felt like
Yeah.
part of that was the fact that Benzema was injured, sure, but it really felt like they were questioned and people questioned Ancelotti. And we came out the first half here and we saw the fact that Ancelotti, they didn't really change things. Yes, they started well, but what did he say at half time? Because look at his momentum chart.
Let's hope Donnarumma makes a mistake, I guess. But either way, we absolutely something
breathe
changed.
that, though.
I mean that's impressive, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. Again, that's them kicking into gear. Second half, we've got nothing to lose here. We need to score. We need to score 2 goals, lads. We need to wake up.
It's probably a pride thing, isn't it, as well? The old-fashioned, just you're Real Madrid kind of thing. And
Yeah,
that
you're
can stir the
you're
Lloyds
wearing
kind
this
of a little
white
bit.
shirt.
Yeah.
It is written in your history that you should be
cup
performing.
football is about
But
that
they've
as much
also
as well. It
they've
really
done
is.
this in years gone by when we're looking at it and thinking, okay, this isn't a particularly good Real Madrid side. And you've seen Real Madrid teams who you don't think are anywhere near the best in Europe winning this competition because it just feels like it's written in their ability to do it. But let's finish this off and let's close out. And some final thoughts. Stephen, you're into the next round. Aside from Madrid, is there anyone else you don't want? I know not everyone's there yet, but
Liverpool.
You don't want Liverpool.
Liverpool
No,
now.
Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely avoid them.
This is horrific for City. That I would not want that at all. I mean, other than that, look, I shouldn't really fear Real Madrid as well.
You shouldn't fear anyone really, but it's the last 8 of the Champions League. Everyone's going to be good, but equally you can get kinder draws than others.
Yeah,
right?
there's lots of good sides. Genuinely. I mean, I don't particularly fear whoever goes through. Atletico, United. I think we can take either of them. We know we can take United. Atletico, City Atletico just isn't a thing, so that'd be interesting to see because there is no literary history there at all.
I haven't seen that at all.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. It's never happened. So I'd be fascinated to see how that would go down. No one really wants to play Simeone's side, because it's just horrifically, stressful. But overall, I'm confident. I am confident this season. I do believe that City should be as well.
Considering where City were, especially what they looked like in the first leg of this, right?
Yeah.
Sam, if we finish with Real Madrid, it didn't feel, before this round of 16, or at least when the draw was made back in December, that Real Madrid were up there with the favourites. But this is a message, isn't it, to anyone that they are still Real Madrid and still very much should be considered top contenders, if not the best team in Europe, but still top contenders for this competition to go and win it.
Yeah, so PSG essentially falling apart aside, and we can genuinely put that aside for a second because a factor in all of that is Real Madrid's brilliance in the second half, the mentality that we've just spoken about and the determination and the fire inside them. Also, the quality of Karim Benzema, who is just astounding, and when he's fit and when he's playing, you can win any game that you're in. The rise of Vinicius Jr. Rodrigo's impact off the bench, by the way, was stellar.
Massive,
absolutely stellar. And that leads us on to another point, which is you look at Valverde coming in on a massive night when it's all up against him and he plays the full 90, right?
And he's unbelievable.
And he's really, really good. Okay, Modric is helping him along the entire time, but Valverde is excellent. Nacho just about holds true. Between Carvajal and Vasquez, they've got a booking each. They didn't really cope with Mbappé, but 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏 kind of stepped over and helped them out. The depth of the team is perhaps better than we maybe gave it credit for, and this big stage has just created a few men.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, that's all we have time for on today's live score watch along. All that's left for me to do is say thank you so much to all of you for watching at home. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Sam.
I've had a great time.
Thank you to our man James Lorenzo, who obviously went out on that VT and met all those sporting fans. What a man he is. I've been Jack Collins. Thank you so much for watching. Real Madrid, the big winners tonight, and we'll be back with another live score watch along in the quarterfinals. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.